got very vulnerable to Abyssal Arrows for Team Liquid, and you know how good Sanji is. Sanford zoning Keyboy away. This should be a free one. Might be actually a kill too. No, Keyboy respects it. Oh, wings by wings from Sans. So that's why he went pull yourself together, Brigida. Sans knows just how deadly Sanji can be, and they've literally won out the early game through Mr. Sanji.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be torn between the Purify or the Flicker, but you just have to pick one.
Wait, did Carry not get it? Or okay, he did. It's just the invisibility. I thought, oh my lord.
It was just the invisible armor all this time. But yeah, so far, even with the amount of wave clear ONIC Indo has through the Farsa intro, it's interesting to see Team Liquid actually gain control of it. I mean, those were pickoffs after pickoffs too, and now we're seeing the rotations come in, even though we expect fast rotations as well from them. You're always on your toes knowing that Team Liquid has the early game, and I feel like even Savero pointed this out before we headed into this match. You cannot give them the lead because they're a team who just doesn't let go of that lead.
But it's not like they were giving the lead. It's Sanji forcing the lead out of ONIC, and you know, sometimes you just can't help it. When an Abyssal Arrow lands twice on 2 prio targets, you just gotta take it and try to come back in Turtle 2. And that's what ONIC are doing right now. That's why they're playing super safe, extra safe, after seeing how accurate Sanji can be on the Selena in the early game. So let's talk about these individual lanes, because it's interesting to see that the Savero hasn't actually been winning out this lane entirely. You would expect the Irithel to be the counter here. Both teams have been rotating to the bottom lane. Angle together. JP is just too clean with those rotations, always covering these angles of attack away, so that ONIC can't get OHEB.
I mean, it was great that he was able to recover, because earlier on, I think in the first minute of the game, there was an early rotation from Sans, and we saw OHEB being knocked down very low. So it's great that he's able to at least come back in this game, manage his lane a bit better, but he fully respects that this matchup might not indeed be that favorable for him. ONIC ID have their eyes set on Sanford. They might try to burst him down. There goes the third airstrike. Will he get away with this? The other members of TLPH actually make it!
And Sanford survives. Sans able to flicker out of the Abyssal Arrow earlier. Kai joins in. Abyssal Arrow landing! Keyboy providing the cover as Sanji again is the man you need to watch. Sanford survived that, and it's TLPH with a win again. You can see the lead getting too crazy now for TLPH. Carl TZ was already 2 levels ahead. Now he's gonna have a smoother road in his own jungle, just clearing things up as OHEB picks up the gold crab and will push this lead even further. JP down below, Sanji too.
Yeah, you kind of see where this might just be going, because the Yisun Shin is having a pretty decent time early on. Will Keyboy actually find a target, though? He lands the way of the dragon onto Sanji, but Sanji, he just won't go down. The endless shards won't even be enough to take him out.
Akai ka hide parmai masih Angela mid the picture late game
and still from ONIC ID.
Yeah, Kai popped in the ultimate, was not able to get Sanji, and that's a squishing member, so this is a problem for ONIC. They're just lacking damage in the early game. All of the kicks have not resulted in kills, and it is really bad for ONIC. They kind of need a snowball going for this jungle. Savero's doing damage at least. They were almost able to get a few kills, but almost is never enough. TLPH have been the absolutes in game number 1 so far, and that's a concern for ONIC. Kind of like a victory dance for Team Liquid. Sky Piercer done quite early in the game for Mr. OHEB.
Yep. I mean, Keyboy, he's had some very decisive way of the dragons. He spots out the likes of Sanji. He gets to use them and land them on these heroes. But again, I think it's not just the endless shards, right? Even the Fettered Airstrike can't provide enough damage just yet towards the members of Team Liquid, so they'll have to play things a little more careful, even trying to go after Loopzy, forced to retreat under the turret. This is a massive problem if even the EXP laner is struggling this much with just the presence of Carl TZ and Sanford.
Yeah, Carl is building up to be a monster right now, scaling very well to the game as ONIC. Continue to do that too. They still are scaling up. It's just
Hey,
Right
anh
now,
sặc
they
rank
got a
thở xuống
skill.
lo mà sẽ anh team fight sẽ không thể ra
TL are doing it at such a rapid pace that Onyx might actually get out
Onyx
scale.
Prime
Keyboard
Light,
jumps in with
Onyx
Jikundo
TX
and
Prime
trying
Light
to
con
cancel.
The
anh
dark
không
wave
đẹp
actually
thì
cancels it.
come
Endless
on
charge
nè
this
lâu
time
biết
gets to
phần
take
anh
Sanji
tay
down,
phục
but
ba
JP
TLPH
finds
cho
him
anh
onto
phá
Keyboy and
luôn
he's blocking the
anh
path
bé
of
cấp
Savero
zoom
as
à
well. Oheb also makes it to the fight.
Sanji
Carl
thì
looking for
thật
the
là
targets, but they find Savero!
What a dark wave of the flicker. Severo kiting away. Oheb with the shot. Severo taken down. Loopy now pops into vengeance. Oheb caught in the bad spot. Dark wave landing onto Sans. Sanford gets him down. Now it's a shield unity.
How did they put themselves in this spot? Now Kyrie is finding the way to clap back. Infernal Pursuits coming in for Sanford, but that won't help him get out
Amon chị
alive.
về thì chú
It's a triple for
rank
Loopy this
Tirania
time.
anh còn try out mấy
Fight that
ní
Onyx
group stage
ID
anh em
have been hoping
Group stage là
for
chuan
since Turtle
surprise đâu
1,
đâu chuan
and it
pick
finally
vào
opens up in Turtle 3. Keyboy doing a good job at zoning. Carl
Basic attack
still
pick
able to
full
secure
deal
the
pen
purple
among
as
the
Kai
pick
gets
vào
the
đó.
Turtle. Gold lead now down for TL to 1,000. Let's take a look at that fight
ONIC.
against Sanford.
Amon
What an
soup
amazing
anh
dark
đi.
wave to land on Severo with the flicker
Amon
there.
soup
Even
anh ha.
Severo wasn't aware of that, but it did put the rest of TL into chasing mode, and that's what you don't really want up against this composition. Kai got an easy flank, was able to clean up, and it's a CCO.
Yo, and I feel like that was too aggressive from Oheb as well. He had to commit the flicker to chase after an Irithel. And you know that Irithel are the more favorable matchup when it comes to the Granger because you'll have to have a bit more precision in terms of landing those Rhapsodies. And then again, they found themselves in the middle of two turrets of ONIC ID, so things weren't looking too good for that fight. And fortunately for ONIC, they find a way to somehow catch up. There still is a significant lead, especially in terms of the gold laners. But Kyrie, after that moment, at least he's able to close the gap to a 300, 400 gold lead.
The missile arrow lands, mounted shocker over to the back, Sun's taken down by JP! Keyboy looking for a trade.
Oh, will they still go for it? They cancel it with the Dark Wave, but the Curtain Call was already committed as well. Keyboy trying to look for a kick. He lands it onto JP, but he's a tanky member. Now Sanford gets punished, but Oheb, he just keeps throwing out those Rhapsodies.
The abyssal arrows are landing so easily for Sanji. He's threading the needle all across. Severo, no heavy crossbow utilized here for Severo. He'll just take that, well, he'll let Sanji take that turret. And yeah, ONIC are on the back foot again. Team Liquid, dude, that was such a crazy engage from Carl too. That mountain chakra on Sans, so explosive. And maybe this is why we don't see the Farsa as much anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe Farsa's just a bit too vulnerable.
A lot, or if not almost all the members of Team Liquid can just try to close in on the Farsa, and it wouldn't be that much of a problem anymore because you force out either the flicker or the wings by wing. So he somehow gets to escape, but Sanford, denying the conceal immediately. Abyssal arrow nearly lands, but JP, he might just get bursted down this time. Loopy trying to take him down, but there's the Federer strike to finish him off.
1-4-0, but the Abyssal arrow lands in the back. Sanford with the flicker forward. Sanji doing the same. The San duo working. Dark wave from Sanford.
That was literally a flicker to take down Sans, and now they find the kill on Kyrie as well. Not even Severo with the heavy crossbow can do much. This is clearly an opportunity for Team Liquid to take the objective if they want to.
It's a small win left, small win right, then a massive win with an explosive abyssal arrow.
Again!
Sanji is just too darn good on the Selena. Ladies and gentlemen, there were 3 mage bans earlier in this game in the drafting phase. And now with the Selena, he's putting his mark down. Sanford, let's take a look at this again.
I wonder how they coordinated that dive. Because like Sanford went in with the flicker, and so did Sanji with the flicker.
And then the dark wave.
And then the dark wave and everything else followed. Carl TZ nearly died there too because he had to take the endless shards, but we just go back to the entire idea that they're still trying to chase Team Liquid in terms of items, in terms of damage. So yeah, the idea behind the Amon was there, but we're yet to see it in this game.
TL will continue to push now. Enhanced Lord of the mid lane. Pushing down JP, walking up a bit too aggressively there. They're just trying to set up for the abyssal arrows, really. Loopy's doing a good job though. Curtain call.
Oh, he gets to use it on Sanford and JP, so they might have to retreat for a bit. There's the conceal too, however. So ONIC, at least, able to deal with the Lord, but that doesn't eliminate the threat of the abyssal arrows coming in from different angles, and Team Liquid still having the superior amount of damage. Just look at Oheb and look at Carl TZ.
7,000 gold lead now for Team Liquid, but Sanji just keeps on landing these big shots, and it stops ONIC ID from even going for picks. Usually with the Cho, you should be able to just walk up even when you're behind. But Sanji just landing it so easily, and again, it spots Keyboy out so many times. In-game equipment check here. See Halberd pick up. He wants to just go through the front line before getting through the back, so no BOD. It'll actually be, is that an Athena Shield buildup for Oheb? On the way, yeah.
Okay, ONIC ID might actually try though. There goes the curtain call and the feathered airstrike trying to bring down JP and Sanford's HP. But Team Liquid, they know that ONIC ID actually want that, so they'll be trying to disengage for now, waiting potentially for the next objective. This is just such clean execution from Team Liquid overall, even when even during times wherein we feel like it is a bit too aggressive. It's not like they completely lose out on the fights anyway. So this is going to be a struggle for ONIC ID to find how they can set the tempo. We did see how Boye did try to do that though with the Cho that was playing from behind, but it's a different lineup right now for ONIC ID.
And it is an Athena Shield, right? So good against the Amon and the far side. That's literally the only two dudes that can get to Oheb right now. He's so safe in the back. That's what we said in the draft here for Team Liquid. They're just playing a proper front to back. It is a very honest front to back, but it works, especially when your backline's so good in the early game. 007, Carl TZ, Oheb 4-1 and 4, Sanji continuously landing shots, and Sanford and JP peeling for the team.
Twilight Armor picked up by Keyboy as well. Loopzy, I feel like whoever he decides to use the curtain call on will be such an important decision, and he might decide to use it now, but maybe not, because Team Liquid decides to engage in the fight. They go for Loopzy and try to burst him down, but the flicker! Jin Kundo from Keyboy, is that gonna be enough? Endless Charge already committed. They don't get any kills until now!
Sanford down. It's gonna be traded for Keyboy now as Oheb walks up, picks up the killing spree, another stack on the Sky Piercer. ONIC forced back. That was a pretty good fight, I would say, for ONIC. They only lost their roam for the XP, and it was because of Kai. He zoned 3 of the carries behind as he walked up, tried to go for the Endless Charge. I think it was a mistap. He wanted to go on Carl TZ, but he did land on Oheb in the end. The Athena Shield stopped that from happening, stopped the kill from happening. Now Abyssal Arrow lands on Loopzy. A few shots over.
Oh, could they stop this from happening though? Oh, even with the Athena's shield, gets blasted with the Endless Charge. Sands will still survive, and Savero this time making things happen, but Carl TZ finds the kill onto him as well.
Such a back and forth. This is a battle that we've been waiting for, and now we know why we've been waiting for, why this matchup has been so anticipated. Team Liquid, for the majority of this game, are holding on to the lead, but it never felt like too big of a lead for ONIC to just stay in their base. They were constantly walking up, farming as well, finding their power spikes, and now it's ONIC on the Lord. They're the ones, the Sky Kings, marching in. JP with a shield unity, Sanford with a Dark Wave.
Oh, but Keyboy nearly fights Sanford though, but he gets to keep himself safe, but that will not keep them alive. There's a difference. Carl TZ trying his best to find the targets to deal damage, but will he be able to though? Both Sanford and JP have been taken down.
Loopzy still deathless. Team Liquid lose their front lines but keep their carries, and that's why ONIC still have to respect. There's no push in. Savero versus Carl. It's just a few shots with a crit passive. Sans in a bush.
Okay. This is a very intense back and forth between Team Liquid and ONIC ID. It's still ONIC ID clearly in control of the Lord Pit, however, but how does Team Liquid approach this without their frontliners in this match? They will have to forfeit this objective. ONIC ID, even after playing from behind for quite some time, are the first to actually get the Lord here.
And now it's ONIC with the lead. The gold lead at the start of the game, all towards mid, is gone. Great item with the Athena Shield, but I guess that's why they still went him on despite knowing there are a few items that can counter it. It just goes through, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's gotten to a point where he's just penetrating through the magic defense. And this is why Divine Glaive and the Genius Wand is shielding into the back line. A full dive on Sans!
Oh, they successfully eliminate Sans, and Carl TZ
TL don't care! They go and penetrate through this composition of ONIC against all odds, and they dive in. Lord up top, but 4 members still in the mid lane. Sanford deciding to recall now as Keyboy looks to push in. I want to see the wave in the bottom lane now. Severo dodging with the Abyssal Arrow.
Yeah, he has the heavy crossbow. They gotta be mindful of that. They can still potentially find a way to deal with the incoming waves, but they're still gonna attempt nonetheless. But Severo and Keyboy, they do successfully defend. Might pop the immortality, and there you go. But JP, he nearly got his pop too. This is
MLBB right here.
This is MLBB.
High level MLBB. The 2 teams we've been waiting for. I gotta say, my expectations have already been exceeded just a bit. Let's see if they can continue to do so. Damage dealt ranking now, Loopzy, 63,000. And then a whole lot of TLPH members. So Severo, Kyrie, and Sans, they gotta start stepping up in this game because right now it's just getting really, really tough to get through this front line.
Yep. We did see, however, the potential angles from which ONIC ID can work on to find at least an advantage in the fight, because again, if the curtain call is landed onto either JP and Sanford, or both of them better, then you just keep them from protecting their teammates or setting things up for Team Liquid themselves, then that just gives easy access to Kyrie, which I feel we saw earlier in the top lane, to look for his targets. There has been some targeting issues in that instance, but if it were otherwise, then things could potentially be better for ONIC ID this time, especially as they only lack a single item for Kyrie to complete his build, and Severo, on the other hand, has completed his, even has the Wind of Nature. So I like how the gold laners really acknowledge that they have to keep themselves in the fight, much to a point where we also see an Athena's shield, but proccing the passive is gonna be critical for OHEP.
Holy Crystal done for Kai, Divine Glaive for Sans as well. So we were talking about them having to get more damage to actually go through the front line. There you go. Holy Crystal, Divine Glaive, they have more penetration, they have more brute force damage on Kai with the Holy Crystal. Good Shen pull from Keyboy, might be going for the pick now, goes for the Jikundo, doesn't actually end up going for the Weighted Dragon. Good Abyssal Arrow stops Keyboy in his tracks.
Yep.
But the wave up top is favorable for TL. That's slow push.
Yeah. And Loopzy at least still has his curtain call, and they didn't want to go for JP. They knew that there were other more important targets to go after. They blocked Keyboy, they deny him of his attempt, and somehow Sanji finds Severo. Might be punished too, but Kyrie, he's next. There's a flicker from Sanford, but Keyboy and Loopzy,
they baited him out. Now JP caught in the tough spot. Loopzy walks back up. Keyboy looking for the Jikundo. Will be able to get it down now with the Chunpu as well. Immortality down for JP. Loopzy zoning them in the back line. It will be JP falling as Loopzy continues to the chase. Doesn't have the curtain call just yet. Pops into vengeance. Chases down the goat. Carl buys the immortality and gets away. Keyboy!
Oh, but there's a flicker. We have the Dragon and the Fettered Airstrike. Still has the Traceless, however, but Kyrie gets the last hit.
Wave up top crashing. ONIC need to deal with it. That's going to be a whole base turret taken down. Can they go for it in time? No. It'll be a base turret take for Team Liquid, but ONIC win the fight. Oh, what a back and forth from the 2 champions.
This 20-minute game, I feel like it hasn't been that long even, because of just how the back and forth has been
like 20 minutes,
going.
I agree.
It doesn't feel like 20 minutes, but
Kai,
that was such a play from Sanji, yes. But I feel like Team Liquid could have been a little more careful, because they already had the Lord. But there was still a flicker from Sanford to try and engage for ONIC ID. So that might have cost them this situation that they're currently in. And now with the live cam, they're still trying.
Lens nak ngot kat sakna ni lawa tuai tun akai and pick to balan tidan ron ne akai kai parmai tu
I don't know if you guys caught that on live cam view, but JP popped into conceal and had a battle of invisibility. Like JP was trying to catch Kai, Kai was invisible, they were just sidestepping each other, dancing around. Takes 2 to tango, and both of them knew the assignment.
Second game ka uyamani ka second game ka first
really hasn't been relevant at all
in
in the last few fights. So now the big advantage for TL is the fact that they have a slow push to Onyx space for free up top. Bad news is it's not the far lane, so ONIC can still deal with it constantly.
What is Sanji trying to build here? Could it be
Akai
a winter crown for his Selena? So he can put himself in a little more, I don't know, dangerous positions. Oheb picks up the War Axe, adds it to his build on the Granger. This is the point wherein we'll probably see a lot more item swaps here and there. I mean, even that clutch immortality from Carl TZ, that was definitely something. But this is going to be the 20-minute mark Lord that they are going to fight for.
Yeah. Oheb has sold his boots for a War Axe, so additional sustain to deal with ONIC ID's burst. For Severo, he's also sold his boots. He's bought the Windtalker, I believe, earlier. So additional movement speed from the Windtalker. Some damage, there you go. From Carl Sanford jumping in on his Sans. So that's a flicker. Jumps in with the Winter Crown as well.
He gets to intercept the Wings by Wings, but now it seems like Team Liquid, they're feeling the damage from ONIC ID, but no, wait, it's actually Kyrie who's first to fall. That's a lot of damage coming in from Severo. Nearly takes down JP, but he survives. How on earth did they find Kyrie in the midst of everyone else?
How on earth have we only lost 2 members? One from each. Kai dying, yes. Sanford dying too. The Battle of Winter Crowns and a missile arrow landing. If he was ready for that, it could have been different there. But yeah, Sanford jumped in with the Inferno Pursuit and then popped in the Winter Crown. Same goes for Loopzy early with the Curtain Call. Keyboy walks up again, puts down the Curtain Call. Will be able to go for the chunk of missile arrows. There's a chunk through into it.
Yeah, they already used the Mountain Jumper as well, but Cairo TZ still gets the last hit. Somehow though, Severo, he seems like he has enough damage to deal with the remaining members of Team Liquid! But back to Shield Unity!
JP gets away with 1 HP. You can see that smile! A smirk from the man who's at fault.
Team Liquid have found a way to win that fight, to secure that objective for themselves. The moment they were able to take out Kyrie, that was already a massive win for them heading into the fight. So now ONIC ID will have to rely on their defense. At least for Severo though. He does really have a lot of damage to bring out, but he cannot let the Abyssal Arrows land. He cannot let any other member of Team Liquid interrupt his attempt to defend for his team.
And the problem right now is Abyssal Arrow landing, Sanford jumping in!
Oh, they actually tried to burst down Keyboy, pops his immortality, but JP might get punished here. They still don't get to take down the turret, and ONIC ID have clearly capitalized on that. Loopzy trying to make things happen. Carl TZ receives the endless shards, and Kyrie finds the kill!
Another turn, ONIC defend! Flashbacks to 2023 MSC when Liquid got all of the Lords constantly, but ONIC just defended over and over again. Liquid have gotten 3 base turrets, so yes, they lose 3 members, but it's still worth it for them. Those 3 members will spawn, the base turrets will not. I don't know about this. Was this necessary? Did they really need to do that? And if they wanted to, I think they should have just done it around the Lord. Oh, Keyboy with a kick over to Sanji. No one there to follow it up in the live cam view. And then wait, they want to go for it. 3 members still down. ONIC!
They have 2 minions alongside them. Better they're trying to zone out the other members, and they will just go for the base!
ONIC! The Sky Kings take the game from out of nowhere. They pull it down. What the heck?
Okay.
Inhale, exhale. But I'm not gonna take it easy and breathe because what a performance by these 2 teams. Clearly though, Team Liquid a little bit more over-eager in multiple scenarios all throughout ONIC ID.
Still running away, but finally the Tech will pick up a kill. Can Throwboy get here in trouble as Spear's gonna be coming down to join the fight? Pharaoh will go anyway. It's a whole lot of brawl in this bottom lane. As OP's still alive, Pharaoh and Throwboy working on Wadu. Wadu is tanky enough, but gets taunted back, and there it is. They pick up another kill. It looks like they're gonna go for this turn as well, as OP is just forced off. You dropped down the Feathered Airstrike, but I think Ultra Legends is going to be happy with that fight overall.
Are they happy? I'm not even 100% sure about it, right? They do end up losing in Tier 1 topside. They will secure this turtle. At the end of the day, is this really helping with their current game plan of scaling up fast? Quinnock is actually in a very good position. Rice Cream, yes, he's great, but Dark Lord in particular, he's got to be really careful, right? I think the pressure is starting to get to him. Those falling star moons, they matter.
Oh, that final slash is going to get him kicked into the turret. They're going to fight it anyway. Attraction Pulse and the Star Moon comes down. They finally get the turret. Spirit Destruction just lobbed on through. But it's an objective, ultimately, which Ultra Legends gets, and that's what they needed.
Yeah, because the majority of the lead is going over to Dark Lord, but he's not the main
carry
for the squad, right? A lot of it really boils down to whether or not this Moscow can start scaling now rather than later. Wanwan has been a non-factor for a majority of these fights, only being eliminated once, and you can tell the gold lead isn't that far away between both gold lanes, right? It's only the 100 to 100 difference so far, and Goldlead is comfortably scaling, right? He's already gotten his second item ready to go. And right now, we really need to see Wadu start building into the Blade Armor as well as the Radiant Armor. He needs it so bad so he can start peeling Quinnock without fearing him.
Good eruption there, but still not enough Feathered Airstrike. Drop down in mid lane. Those are blasted to bits. Crossbow Tank popped off as well. Wadu holding the front from Throwboy. They find Dark Lord, and they're going to be able to find Throwboy as well. But Appraiser's Wrath will not have enough damage to pick up anybody from CFU.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Pharaoh, a little bit late to the fight here. CFU Gaming was able to recuperate and regroup a lot faster despite the initial damage being thrown out from Ultra Legends. Boxy is playing a strong game. Let's look at this replay one more time, right? Because we see Boxy start off by taking down Ice Cream to ensure that Opie is going to be fine. The Feathered Airstrike got max value onto Rice Cream as well as Quinnock, which is the big issue, right? Ultra Legends must understand, if we are going to initiate these fights, it's very ult-dependent.
This is tough too, you know, ult-dependent or not and everything else. Ultra Legends, now they're starting to get picked apart, and it feels like, you know, they're going to have to kind of hone back in, and this is what I was mentioning back when we were opening up the segment here was, you know, they kind of need to hopefully refine their mid to late game transition, and so far we have to see that happen because the war is up now. Ultra Legends is fighting for space. They're trying to fight for, you know, the fact that this tier 1's almost going to fall here. And CFU knows to punish this. They might initiate this fight. They're going to drop down a Feathered Airstrike again. The flicker forward. Spirit Destruction to follow through. Pharaoh joined the fight. He's going to go ahead and help out. The crossbow tank popped off on Dark Lord. He hangs up a ton of the hits. And now they're still going to go. It's gone. A big blast once again. They have to retreat under the tier 2. They're just going to cut it out anyway. Throwboy keeps them in check.
On the spot all something and on the spot and kill and boy cut kill not turn
really nice play coming in from CFU side. They initiated this fight understanding that if they can push them in between their tier 1s and tier 2s, and nobody is able to actually do the wave for their mid-tier 1. That's such a powerful position. Once Quinnock goes, they know they've got the green light. Once the final slash from Ice Cream comes out, then they can do whatever they want. That gives them the passport that they're looking for to disrespect Ultra Legends battle lines. Now, Wadu in a phenomenal position. I've seen both of his item pickups, the Blade Armor as well as the Radiant Armor. He is in a phenomenal position, and Quinnock cannot deal with that. He greeted out for this guy Piercer, but until he has a Divine Glaive, he's not going to be able to cut through.
Like you mentioned, you know, that's what Wadu really needed. He needed to be able to go ahead and be that kind of just front line for the most part. And Abaxi's been doing a great job too on this Cho, as difficult that it is to sometimes find those angles. He's going to go ahead and get traction pulsed in onto the turret. He could be in trouble. Tries to get away, but the turret's still going to be work done. They find it finally, but there's the crossbow of Tang as the airtime is there. Still under the turret. Zing not able to pick up Throwboy though. So they traded out the 1-for-1, but the objective's secured. Shields are going to be popping up here, and they still have to deal with the Lord.
These conversions from CFU are so very, very good. I got to give it a Rice Cream. He has an eye to punish his opponents. He's very similar to Boxy. However, he can't get into his own head. They need to sacrifice these outer tier turrets. Inhibitors are by far the most important at this point after your mid-tier 1. Therefore, as you see them attack, they're not attacking head-on, they're attacking inside, and let's look at this.
Traction pulse once again, energy eruption going to be able to find Zing. It gets out though. The final slash with it, so nothing to convert there for Ultra Legends.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's final slash versus Feathered Airstrike. Both of these effing ultimates. It's just, they're really, really pivotal for these squads. Now, Quinnock, he finally gets the Holy Crystal ready, to go. And Dark Lord is actually doing a decent amount of damage throughout these fights. I saw his item build earlier, right? He shot the Talisman Oracle, he's got the sustain. But does he have the right items to actually get in front of Detective? Is he strong enough to deal with Sing as well? No, he really has to go in and out compared to Wadu, who literally will T-pose on his opponents.
In game pon sports bang I pon physical sports pon Mizo pathum all something tiranga aharan khel te 3-0 veganeza thak do sin zo han bai khan saka chupo an chak ya game khadan la ya tu zo
that are picked up so far through MSC. Now the base turrets are set here. CFU is going to work on the mid turret. Detective takes quite a bit of damage. Now Wadu has to jump on out of the base. The final slash again will find Sing. A good pickup and a response from Ultra Legends. Do they want more? They stop OP from the feathered airstrike a little bit longer. Throwboy will jump on forward, but that might be all they get.
Marksman for marksman on either side. Sing, you gotta be careful, right? Because it's really hard to react to the final slash. Even though you have an inbuilt Purify, you're still going to get disposition unless you have really fast fingers. Even if you're dispositioned for half that second, that's more than enough for Ultra Legends to really jump upon you. Because their whole lineup, every single person has CC.
Again, the fight breaking out. Traction pulse on the feathered airstrike already expended. Foxygo trying to jump into the fray. He flickers out defensively. And now it's Detective. Lord to be ignored. They go in the fight anyway. Detective is gone. And the fight still going on as Wadu going to be the next target. They want to commit Sing just around the corner alongside Foxy. They're going to go for Dark Lord here. They actually get this kill. Looks like they're going to be able to secure it. Dark Lord just trying to buy time. The shields are not enough as another kill goes in the hands of CFU.
And what did I tell you, right? Dark Lord cannot deal with the raw damage in comparison to Wadu, who literally is T-posing in the middle of these fights. It's starting to get a little frustrating, but we do see that Ultra Legends manages to find an initial punish, right? Keep in mind, Lucas, his big mechanic, I can only pop my ult when I have enough energy, when I have enough of those stacks on me, right? Which is the little bar you see underneath him because he doesn't have mana. Cool. I definitely need more of those type of heroes in this game. But for the most part, Detective, again, first position.
Final slash again. Forcing the fight. A spirit destruction. Ferris going to join the fight, but Rice could be in trouble. Detective now going for very possible of nature though. He's still going. But Throwboy came in, got the Lord, but they're losing the fight. 4 down for Ultra Legends. Gonna be making it 5 here. It's gonna be a wipeout as they go.
RQ Pohinzia, Violo Mituntumizia, RQ Chalom. My team Chadang hit and team Chimchim him Chavek to easier to
run. As Dark Lord doesn't have enough, and CFU Gaming might have
18 and
have lost the Lord, but they're gonna get the wipeout they needed. The mid turret goes down, and they have the push with the minions. They'll take first blood in this best of 3.
Really great target prioritization coming in from CFU. You could see the forward thinking in a lot of their plays. The itemization was good, and even so, Ultra Legends, they just fell in between the smokes and the mirrors, and they couldn't tell how they needed to play it out.
I kind of feel like to describe this game, it's close but also very scrappy. And I kind of feel like it's a very hard game for either marksmen to really shine because every single time they're in the fight, someone's targeting them, and they're more often than not, they're the first to actually go down in the fight. And it's hard to make a team fight look good when your marksman is the first one to go.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, they were trying to overthink this, right? It's like, oh, we got to worry about the final slash. Oh, we got to worry about the feathered airstrike. And then all of a sudden, I think CFU came to the realization of like, actually, we don't really care about the final slash. I think if we can get Sing into that back line, we can make this work because OP, every single time, even if he just lands 1 or 2 shots of the feathered airstrike on Quinnock or Pharaoh, they're basically down to like 1/3 of their health.
Yeah, and it worked out too because, you know, we mentioned it back on the early to mid game.
It's his 5 prior MSC appearances.
It's not going to matter.
With the Baksha in the jungle,
Me.
Thank you, Renmar. All right.
that's what you want. Now the purple buff should be open to contest for Sutsujin. Joybodge walks out. It's Chumpu onto the wall, but it's okay. Red Tree battle. It's Shiro who secures the purple. But RQ are not pushing the pace in the bottom lane. Whoa! Almost a solo! AOG from Joybodge to provide the peel, the cover necessary for ISO to recall.
All right, Battle Spell for Battle Spell being traded out, but the level lead from Toy is definitely going to make it evident that ISO has to be very, very careful, especially if Toy has that Inspire available. Now, we can see Sutsujin has been trying to invade so many times at this point. He's only keeping up with Shiro. It's actually Shiro who actually has a little bit of EXP tempo on him because of the movements that we've seen across the map. Now, Dairon should be able to walk down towards, with the help of the river buff, to go down and quickly join this potential fight from Turtle's side. However, Rishi has shown himself.
Great taunt over to E-Dog now. Also, a stun over. That's going to be the knockup from Ureshi to get the kill over to E-Dog. Now Toy walking up. The crossbow tank going to be ready. And it translates over with the help of the rest of the team. Ureshi taken low. He gets away. It's another 1-for-1 in a low action game. And RRQ will get 3 out of 3.
Yep, and that's a roam for a roam. Turtle will fall into the hands of RRQ as we see a lane swap. Honestly, this is a really good move from the side of Area 77, right? You know that that neutral objective is basically non-existent for you, so ISO picks up that mid wave, picks up top wave as well. Even, I'm not sure if he got that crab on that last one, but even so, he is able to slowly scale up without taking too much damage. Let's look at the fight one more time, right? Because again, E-Dog, I would say a little crazy of him, you know, opening up that map. But the commitment, Ureshi not even having to use the heavy spin, it already goes to show that this early to mid game, Area 77 feel kind of comfortable. They just need that one mistake from RQ.
That's a red tree from Shiro again, securing the purple buff. Another big Astral Echo, and as this continues to land, they will have constant vision on A77. Just look at the tempo they have on the map.
Yeah.
It's 2-2, 2,000 gold lead. But it feels like with the tempo they have, it almost feels like it's 4 or 5K gold lead.
It does. I mean, the level leads especially coming down. 1 from Toy, 2 from Rins as well. And I think that right now, Rins, he's utilizing his advantage nicely. He already completed the Lightning Truncheon, so his pokes genuinely hurt. Oh.
There you go. Almost all of the weakness points. Good move by Shiro. He still gets caught by the Star Shatter. So even when they display these, good escapes, they get punished for it, and there's no trade. RQ making sure that wait, the Dragon and the Star Shatter locking him down. It's a kill for the roam over towards Hunter. Rins pushed back, but it's all G. And not even a trade down below. The minions, can they do it? No, Toy's rotating.
He'll be able to make it there in time. Actually, wait, I mean, the wave is, unfortunately, the siege minions were all kind of low. If they were full health, then maybe there was an opportunity there. But let's look at the items so far, because that's 3 items already complete. Like, Toy has a majority of the gold advantage here. And now, this is the time where you're expecting RRQ to kind of, step on the gas.
Oh, my lord. Oh, Shiro with the puncture now onto Rins as well. Thorn Rose and a Phantom Execution, but that should be it in terms of firepower. Sutsujin running him down. Big hitbox on him. Sutsujin will constantly land those big shield throws. Shiro gets away, but RQ get tempo up top and again deny a turret trade.
Shiro, he's leveled down on Sutsujin. Now RRQ really pouring gasoline. Hopefully they don't smother the fire just yet. They need it to turn into a roaring flame. Area 77, it's clear that they've got mechanics, right? They know how to push buttons, but they're waiting for that big mistake. Here comes E-Dog.
Passive already. Hunter brought back again by the way the Dragon now cancels, but a heavy spin already as Dairon walks up. Has the stack in front of pursuit, but the heavy spin shoves them back. Ureshi's too low. There's no heavy spin. They baited big resources. Almost a Star Shatter from Rins. Clean.
It's an extremely clean engagement from RQ, but an even more cleaner disengage from Area 77. However, disengaging doesn't win you games, right? Nope. We haven't seen significant plays from the side of Area 77 to try and crack open RRQ. These neutral objectives have fallen into the hands of RRQ when it's going exactly the way they want to. A clean 4K lead, and now we see that Area 77 are forced to kind of stick together to look for neutral objectives. More importantly, getting rid of these structures. Once we see mid-tier 1 collapse,
okay, AOG into the sun with a shield unity. Turret down below falling to a tier 2. Shiro, Thorn Rose to evade from Ji Kundo, and finally our Area 77 gets a trade. But when it happens, RQ get a better trade-off, like with a turret tier 2 down below.
I mean, sure, but like tier 2s on the side lanes is basically free econ, right? What's another extra 200, 300 gold over to RRQ when they already had that 4K lead? Area 77 using the AOG to try and protect this mid-tier 1 was probably the better option rather than putting themselves in a compromised position.
Sutsujin is just running laps around A77 right now as Toy continues to push on the pace. That's a retribution into the Rose. Crossbow tank ready, popped in, Inspire over, Reshi fallen. No, he has the flicker, gets him out to safety just in time. One last shot would have done it. A tier 1 turret falling in the mid lane, and RRQ are going to capitalize.
Well played by Toy. He was expecting the clear. He was expecting the iframes to come up pretty quick from the side of Shiro and really takes full advantage before launching that crossbow of tag. And with that being said, a man down, RRQ are looking to go for these inhibitors. The whole field are collapsing all across the board.
Fury of the Phoenix over, Tyrant taken low, but there's really just no more threat. That's another structure taken down by RRQ, and it's a big one because, folks, that's the far lane for the next neutral objective. A77 were already struggling to contest. Now, it's going to be even tougher.
Yeah, no, I think right now, the only way that Area 77 is looking to win this game is if RRQ make a mistake when it comes down to these neutral fights, right? That's why we're seeing that. Oh my god, the damage.
Half HP, brother man.
Walks
up, somehow Sutsujin gets the kill. With a shield thrown his way, Ureshi falling for the first time this game.
Oh, he got melted down. There's too much percentage damage. Look at Prince's damage. He's literally
mind traga dito. Atiem ka tiberto. Sang som pakwa vela kan. Kelrai tiem ka tiberto.
Look at that. Again, Fury the Phoenix coming down to try to defend Hunter.
Omega
almost caught by the Star Shatter there.
Underrated version eSporta MLBB ka. Kiel rai thanu mai lo shim. Anga polten ne lo kon 10-0 pon lead se agol da claim ngai lo.
Tier when they've got the right tools. They've got Trebuchet in Rins, a strong arm. The Area 77 underneath the bus. And even if they're not close to the bus comes to them.
Alo harve to chin se le lam ho pon lo thiam ve vek to chin se atla che ga tina lam chun chung ho lo ma se. Omega lai te khan akhel thathel to ne chumo ma se fak tu khan mai lo tinga hanin khel that tuan kha ol an tis da khel kha ola mi no tis ron kan ni to chonin semenga ti lu pressure ve kha to chino ya hanin
Sutsujin walks up with the help of the conceal from EDOC and will be there to body block in case it's necessary.
It's just perfect macro coming in from the side of RRQ. They understand they've set the line in the sand, and Area 77 must not disrespect it. Jiro's gonna try here. He's got the mechanics and he's gotten out of really tight positions before, but a single shot from a max range Star Shadow from Rins really makes all the difference. Not to mention that if they stand too close together, unfortunately the AoE plus an extra from the Lightning Truncheon makes all the difference. 50% gone just like that.
Man, 2,500 gold lead for Toy. Full items almost. Has a Magic Blade, very close to a Rose Gold Meteor. There's a Sea Halberd, and he's gonna shred. Like even without the crossbow attack. Actually, I'll be surprised if he gets a crossbow attack. He might actually melt people before he can get the crossbow attack done.
Yeah, he is pretty far ahead in the game right now. It's kind of ridiculous, but oh!
Both the carries. Talk about targeting now. Shiro walks up, Rins with a flicker out. That's a big AOG that lands. Oh no, that's Shiro in the front. Timer is holding it alone. Toy looking for the damage just with the basic attacks again. No crossbow tank, no problem. Toy dishing out crit damage and RRQ with a 10,000 gold lead. Get the job done.
Oh my goodness. I think this is what the Indonesians call whenever they see Rins throwing out another Star Shatter just to be like, he's be like headshot, man. This is just, he is landing them. It's God-given.
No towing around at all for RRQ, and that went as expected. Honestly, like with what was brought to the table and what we mentioned earlier, so much pressure for the Lancelot and Granger to win at their respective roles. But when you're
hands here, probably also trying to predict like what's gonna happen and how they're properly gonna be using their draft.
Yeah, I like that.
1440p
so again, ONIC Philippines. I'm not sure on the specific stats right now so far through the 2 days. I'll have to double check later, but the winning side being blue side or if it's the red side, but ONIC Philippines, they'll get that first priority here. They are going to be taking out the Kimi, of course. We see the YSS. Teams' drafts, for the most part, though, have been pretty interesting. I mean, even the first 2 matches we saw today were some very unique picks that we got to see come through. Yeah, the Paquito. Even earlier on, we saw the Leo Mord.
Yeah.
I think everyone was shocked by that, if you will. For maybe that becomes a new thing in everybody's ranked games now. You're going to see a Leo Mord gold.
Will they be brave enough to try it, though? Like, after that kind of unsuccessful campaign. I know it's just been a single series, but you know, it's been almost a win for Team Flash, but it still wasn't. But now that we're looking at 2 teams who are led by Filipino coaches, I'm thinking we're more likely to see picks that don't veer too far away from the current meta that we have.
So we're definitely be looking at all those oppressive mages, the ones that deal a lot of damage. Unless you can actually get an assassin jungler, then we might see the utility. Because I think something that we can bring up is that so far the first 2 days, teams are really liking that Jushin, which if we look back previously, teams really don't favor them. Or if they use them, they just don't get the wins.
For Super Friends, though, I think it's one of his favorites.
Yeah.
Like the Jushin has had a very high win rate whenever he got his hands on it, which actually... Now that you mention it, the Super Friends
guys man Aurora region daman ni mo. And kotsi master the basics ani blacklist coach kani blacklist champion lion coach kani Aurora kotsi.
We could see the Farsa go through.
TNZ den khela an travel don mo.
If that seems to be the play.
TNZ oma lunar ka sela Rosa test squad or Rosa le Apex 47 hi an tra. Rosa hi tuai khania athi am to ka pai.
For example, the Selena.
Mid lane
And he
den
is just
to.
able to play the Selena.
Sijibam ti le lunar ti to ko sevak law player tharania.
The Jushin has been
And
banned,
kotsi
so
master the
there is a
basics
chance
ti
that Farsa could
hi
get picked up. And
blacklist
if we're
coach
talking about the
kani.
mid laners here,
Blacklist
Rosa, if you look
era
back in
lion
his history,
coach
he's not
ka
known as a
to
one trick. He
master
has
the
a lot of
basics.
tricks in his pocket. Like we've seen the Valentina, we've seen
Turkey
the
ni
Lugia,
Turkey.
and I believe he even had a time where he used the
Aman
Lunox.
team
So I
hinkai
feel
ni
like
ka.
in terms of the matchup,
Aurora ni
you really
nakan.
don't mind letting Rosa just wait a little bit
Tutula.
and then maybe even counter draft, or maybe he can make Zitian look really good.
Yeah, I don't even know if like wasn't Rosa one of those who was brave enough to bring out like those fighters in the, the mid lanes too. So maybe okay, there I was supposed to say maybe the R-Lot for now. If Naisu did mention earlier that ONIC tends to save the Super Friends heroes for later, since he does have such a wide hero pool, but that might lead Rosa to picking it up here.
I think you can pick up
And
the
draft like
difficult
they
against Arlet.
guys cut me alone.
Man, against the Arlet though, and this is still technically we find Arlet still basically a flex for the most part. So I feel like that's something that ONIC Philippines likes to do, and especially with Coach, why not kind of pick up one of the heroes that you can still flex in later on, depending on how this first phase plays out. So Phoveus will come up for Aurora, and then they get the Kalea, which was obviously open still. We see that banned out quite a bit, but this time I would say Aurora, you know, this is covering the grounds work of initiation, pick-off potential, but then that front line tankiness too, and some of the sustainability that helps out the team here.
I like that they pick up the Kalia because it really opens up the draft in case if they want to play more burst instead of giving it over to ONIC Philippines, where we know for them aggression is a big thing. So if you give over a very aggressive roamer, it could cause problems.
Yeah, and you have to be cautious about who you'll be putting in the front lines if you're ONIC Philippines, because the Kalea can just constantly try to go for these front lines, but they still pick up the R-Lot and Fredrin combo nonetheless. So just as I was thinking, we might be seeing some of the damage dealers for ONIC for now. They just went for the Moskov. They literally saved the mages for the second phase.
And now we got a fun fact here. Kelra currently holds the record for most kills, 258 among all players throughout the history of MSC. Yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
I think the second place behind him, and I'm sure we'll get this a glimpse of this later, probably today. So I don't want to spoil anybody, but I think it's like 100 difference. Between
like
the two.
it's a quite big difference.
Yeah. So that's just again, Kelra's had quite a bit of experience in MSC throughout his career so far, and obviously this is something that ONIC Philippines wants to go ahead and achieve in you know, hopefully getting this championship for them under their belt after being the M6 World Championship champions. So this Lancelot gets picked up. This is an interesting matchup in the jungle. Lancelot against Fredrin.
I like that both teams, they're just delaying their mid lane pick.
This was something King Kong mentioned about Tianzi. The fact that they respect and acknowledge how good his mechanics actually are, and now we'll be seeing it in as early as game number 1 because he'll be picking up the Lancelot up against this lineup of ONIC PH, which so far I feel is a very confident pickup since they also have the Phoveus and the Kalea, so they already have the other members of the team out there to set things up for them. Not that the Lancelot can't do things entirely on his own, but with the CC taken out as well, this is looking somehow... I think Aurora might feel comfortable so far with the first few picks that they have.
It does look like they're banning out the CC because they're really thinking that the Arlet has a high possibility of actually going in Rome. So now I'm thinking for ONIC Philippines, they need some kind of continuous damage here in mid if this Arlet does end up going to Rome, because I kind of feel like they do want to get the ball rolling at least by Turtle 2. So I wonder what kind of mid they're going to get, because neither team looks like they want to counter it. They don't want to ban anything. They just want to counter it.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, even when we get for this last ban, the Farsa is still going to be open, but I don't know, man. If it's going to be the Farsa, I wouldn't even be surprised if still in the lines of if they're focusing on objectives, because this lineup is that. So they take out, they're the one, ONIC Philippines is the one to take out the Farsa. You know, do they go for something else now that we don't have those two mages that pop up? Zetian's still available, Zetian, but then you also have an Eve, for example. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe even an Eve comes through for Super Friends, but they have a lot of options. Again, I think that's why it's so crucial that you really consider the hero pools of ONIC Philippines. But this is also great because this is also showing once again the familiarity between the two teams here, and of course the coaching staff. Like, we're gonna take the Selena just in case Super Friends was planning to go ahead and get that, like we mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, Dexter and MTV are so used to going up against ONIC Philippines at
Feels
this
like
point.
in the Philippines again.
Right? We're just in a different place.
Yeah, it's just a bit hotter.
Oh, it's such a deny pick as well, because if you think of the other mages that are left, there are like the Zetian, the Luyi. I know it's one of Super Friends' most used picks, but so far we haven't been seeing much of the Luyi.
Did you expect this?
So now...
I mean, it was in my script.
It was?
Oh yeah, actually it was here. So yeah, because here's the thing. It was in the script, but actually for Rosa, picking up this Valir, my only worry is damage. That's it. That's it.
I mean, you said continuous damage, but you know.
Technically,
you know what? You guys need to take my nuggets of knowledge.
Yeah.
Because even I don't know I was saying the right things. So you guys have to be fast about it.
Oh,
Ixia. All right, this is interesting because there's no one really able to go to the back line unless it's Arlet or Moskov. But hey, at that point, you just got to be very confident in your own positioning. I actually... Both drafts are very interesting. This is a good match of the day to actually see how both teams really perceive the meta. I'm interested to see the Valir. I'm interested to see the Ixia. I was right, but not in a way that I like it. Anyways, I'm going to give it over to you guys.
Thank you so much, LFL. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to the English broadcast for MSC 2025 at EWC. It's our third match of the day. And as you're witnessing, our drafts here are phenomenal for game number 1. It is a best of 3 once again for both these teams here. ONIC Philippines, the current world champions, going against Aurora from Turkey, will be going against each other. And who gets the first blood here, we're going to find out in this series. Welcome to it. It's me and Brigida to bring you the action.
I cannot believe we're seeing the Valir-Selena matchup for game number 1. Lafell did mention continuous damage, but whether or not they're able to maximize that, we'll see it now because they're playing it very aggressively in the first few minutes. But Super Friends, because of that aggression, is forced to flicker out and will receive the Sword Rose first blood immediately for Aurora Gaming.
I don't know what our fastest first blood. I know it was around like the 30.
26.
26?
We beat it yesterday.
Okay. It was beaten yesterday.
They wanna beat the record.
Yeah. Still under the minute. First blood going in the hands, especially for Tianzi.
Yeah.
That's great for a Lancelot to get a start here, and you can see this. This is what I was worried about for King Kong, though, too, because if you get a lead, You then have to rely on the team to help you, even this.
This is such an aggressive start for Aurora Gaming, and the Abyssal Arrow lands onto King Kong! Second casualty of the game, but the punish, they'll be able to take down Apex 47. Okay, things are looking good for Aurora Gaming right now.
It's a great start for them already. 2 kills for TNZ, you know, an assassin that has popped up multiple times already throughout our tournaments here. And you get 2 early kills, that's going to be great for you. You can already see the emblems too, nothing too crazy, but you got a whole lot of tank emblems. And of course, you're still going to see that temporal rain here for the Valier.
Yes.
Apex? Okay, he's not going to get stunned.
So it seems like whenever Super Prince does want to go for the Vengeance Flame, again, that has some sort of purify to it, you'll be able to spam your skills a lot more. The team fights will be a lot more difficult for Aurora Gaming if ever they get to be the recipient of the Burst Fireball then and now, every now and then. But still, like, this I mean, the mere fact that there's a Selena and you're a Fredrin, right?
It's not going to be fun.
It doesn't look too good. So let's see how this pans out. Aurora Gaming are the first to position themselves in the turtle.
All right, they'll get positioned. You can see the rotating happening here too. Superbone making his way down for this turtle. So they want to go full force for this fight. They want to secure the objective. They've already had a good lead. Oh, it's going to break out. Brusco forced off of this. He doesn't have level 4, so no final slash. That's an easy turtle. I think they just disengage.
Oh, but Onyx might want to go for it, though. Brusco, the Tsunami Slam will be used onto him. And then now Lunar will be isolated on the back line, but so will be Brusco. He is the first to fall, and Lunar will be next. But does Aurora still want to fight this? Now it's Rosa. She won't be able to escape. So somehow Onyx might have equalized it in a way.
I mean, at least they get 2 kills off of that. You know, it's still a small lead for Aurora Gaming right now, but this is, I guess, that was a preview of what the lineup is capable of for Onyx Philippines. Obviously, they're going to need some more time. Also, when that fight before it broke out, the Spear Destruction from Kelra came through, but it didn't land, so he couldn't join this fight. So, you know, essentially, you find yourself in this, but still relatively even because it's a 4v4, and they just go for it. And it's, you know, it's one of those lineups from Onyx Philippines that needs time to literally cook here. But Rosa gets taken out, of course, from King Kong, and he's got a little bit of catching up to do. I'm not sure if he's too far behind in terms of gold. But at least, you know, he's about half a level or a level or so behind TNZ right now. And TNZ is 3-0 on this Lancelot already.
That's huge for a Lancelot to get an early 3-0, which is why Onyx PH, they might be respecting this right now. They're playing somehow a little more careful, but now that they see Rosa isolated in the mid lane, they find a way to deal with him. Now going for Apex 47 next. These are 3 members of Onyx PH, but that's the Tsunami Slam already committed onto Brusco. TNZ also here, but they won't be committing the fight just yet.
Okay, King Kong wants to take this because, as you can see, he's 2 levels behind. So he goes and grabs that. Turtle's going to be up in 10. So Onyx, what they're really looking for is just some of these pick-off potentials. They found them. They've pretty much dissipated the gold lead that Aurora had. Mid lane's going to be put some pressure here, but this is what we're going to see. Aurora Gaming goes back into position for the objective. This time around, though, you still got both gold laners up on their own. This is going to be started up. Super Prince picking up the glowing wand. So now Rosa firing off from the back angle, but will be forced back. King Kong, even despite it all, we'll just jump on in, and this is the hard part for TNZ. He's got to find the right window.
They start things off, use the final slash, but then the turtle, it's still going to the hands of Aurora. Rosa also takes the kill on Brusco. King Kong somehow trades Apex 47, but Rosa with a double kill takes down Super Friends, and Kirk makes it just in time to find the kill.
A big trade, though. Aurora's going to get more. They're going to get this mid turret off of that. Good thing for Kirk. At least he gets a kill. There's a trade and an objective as well, as Kauro was able to push in that tier 1 up top. We'll take a look at the instant replay again. This was a fight that was in favor of Aurora. TNZ goes in, especially with a full barrage laid down right there. It was a great fight position for them, and they kind of separated Onyx Philippines. You know, the Super Fam literally got separated in this fight, and they had to just kind of be in that position of, let's go get something. If we can't, Lunar, though.
Oh, they're trying to get something again here in mid. Super Friends seems like he's having such a hard time. Rosa might still actually go for it. Nice placement. But still, it's literally so difficult for Onyx Philippines to find an angle here. The biggest worry for Onyx PH at this point is it feels like they need a bit more time to set up for them to be able to use their skills, similar to the Appraiser's Wrath when they wanted to go for that objective. I mean, it was Brusco who started things off, but Aurora Gaming, they have much faster ways to respond, to fight back, and do it explosively, not the way ONIC PH kinda needs a bit more of like buffer or loading time.
Brigade, they need a lot more buffering time. Also, they need to deal with Tienzi. He's 6-0 at this point. He's been pretty much untouched, and then he just picked up the brute force as well. You can see the lead, man, that he has on King Kong. This is what I was worried about in the draft when you saw that Fredrin come through, and then you see the Lancelot, which is going to take that time again in our matches so far. And you get this kind of lead, which all started from that early first blood. You get a lot of opportunities to go ahead and play the way you want in your jungle alongside the team here. Plus, the fact that you have a Selena to help provide some division is, phenomenal for them to work around with. So I expect this just to be their free turtle, 3 for 3. I think ONIC Philippines is just going to have to adjust and be like, all right, how do we approach this first Lord coming up?
Yeah, at least they have Kellera, they have the Moskov, so they can somehow deal with the macro. But Aurora Gaming, they're still going to go for it. That's the Flicker Tsunami Slam into the strike, already committed by Apex47. Immediately taking out King Kong. Final Slash connects onto Sigibom, but still the damage coming in from Aurora Gaming seems like it's going to be enough. It's a triple for TNZ. Sigibom gets taken out. Kellera might be the saving grace, but will he be able to do it? He's up against 2 members and he won't.
What a play with such a good final slash, but unfortunately for ONIC, they weren't able to win that fight. Great placements here from Aurora Gaming. Again, it was initiated by them. Look at the final slash that comes through, even onto that full barrage.
Yeah.
Great placement, but again, they were behind, and Kellera really wasn't there for that majority of that fight until the end here, and he really can't go against a TNC. Look at him, he's 10-0-1 on this Lancelot.
What is this KDA? How did this come?
Has he found the right balance between
Bro
aggression?
scored 10-0-1 against the best team in the world. Oh my god, it's
3.
Yeah.
Insane, bro. That's insane.
But it's just how surprising the game is. Imagine this much of a lead between TNZ and King Kong. That's 3K? Around 3K? Between the Fredrin and the Lancelot. And you know that if it is a Fredrin jungle, then you basically are going to be the utility. You just want to set things up for your teammates. But Kellera, oh no, Apex47, there to protect his teammate, there to protect Sigibom. They have to reposition unless ONIC PH still want to take on this fight. There is somehow still a lead between them and Aurora Gaming, but it feels like they desperately want to at least get something.
Yeah, it seems like ONIC Philippines right now is kind of scrapping for whatever they can get.
No.
That is a massive differential between the junglers right now. TNZ, this is how confident he can be too, that he just takes things from King Kong. So, that's tough to see especially if you're in that position for King Kong right now and you're down multiple levels. Whoa, Super Fritz?
Okay, at least the flicker was there. But that was a very close call. I mean, Super Prince was confident enough to not use the Vengeance Flame, not like it could do much anyway. But still, at least they still have, or he still, no, he actually used it. No, the Vengeance Flame, not the Flicker. So now, how does ONIC PH deal with this? Kurt, will he try to look for a setup? King Kong up front. Oh, they seem to be bursting Lunar down. Gets to switch targets though. Looks for Super Prince and the full barrage immediately cancelled down. King Kong, however, he won't be able to tank enough damage. Kurt also next on the chopping block. Double kill for TNZ.
As LaFell said, it's just, what is going on? I don't know. I guess he's just going to be highly contested, either that or eventually in the knockouts we see him on the ban list, but
wait, the total gold for his team is 22,000. Zipper, pull up the item list. We need to see where he's at currently.
Altari, Gensless, Sifu Gaming, and Tatro.
lives here. Again, they're facing that elimination. It's match point for CFU. They've come out in game 2 swinging. They got a phenomenal start. Now they have this Lord in their favor, and they can go ahead and start to knock on these turrets of CFU, hopefully in the base. But CFU has shown us that even this lineup, even down this much gold, there's somehow, some way, still potential. I don't want to say it's all just the Lancelot, but it seems to be the case. And maybe you can have an answer for that. Now Throwboy jumps on in. They force him off the tier 2. Then the airstrike's already down, so they'll clear this out. They might not lose this turret just yet. Yeah, they keep it up. So, but still, they got to deal with this Lord. So eventually, they'll get to the base turrets of CFU.
They got holy defense, right? The holy defense should be more than enough. If they want, they can probably like hold on to the Lord just outside of it, but it's not worth it considering Cornoc's damage.
Oh, again, the charge is in. They're going to force it anyway. Pharaoh quite low. There's a spear. Does he fall? Sing follows through. He flickers forward. Teal, he'll fight Pharaoh. They're going to be forced to fight anyway.
Dấu lỗ này cái laptop here.
Zing still alive, but Dark Lord's gonna jump in. Waits for that as Zing goes down. Now Detective. Does he join this fight and force it a little bit longer? Throwboy just went to the mid lane. He's gonna be fine. Goes for the orange buff. Will take it. Dark Lord still tanking so much of this. And I think that's all CFU gets. They lost 2, but it's a 2-for-2 trade.
Okay. Sing, he's forgiven now. He's forgiven, right? He takes the shadow from the SOD, is able to make the play. Although there was a bit of an overcommitment with the flicker on top of it all, but still it's savable. It's salvageable, right? Looking at the items detected now, it's already
sáng mi bet chất mày là Sifu comeback vậy sẽ các bạn
The shadow kill OP. He'll survive, but man, Throwboy 9-0-8 now. I feel like he's just having one of his best games so far.
Yeah, he's having the time of his life, some may say. And for now, that time is starting to run out here because as CFU Gaming, if they're able to defend another Lord push,
okay, they're gonna go ahead and go for this middle base turret. Throwboy is a threat enough. They'll get forced off of it. A little bit of health left on that base turret in the mid lane for CFU, but man, look at this damage that we see here. It's just, obviously, it's all blue, and CFU has so much room to cover if they want to catch up here.
And come back, though. CFU Gaming
probably is getting close to completion at this point, but they also need the Winds of Nature. Yep, the Trinity is already complete. Oh, and oh my goodness, where did OP go? Had no time to flicker or even use his ult.
It feels like there's a lot of these moments where CFU, you're like, what are you doing there? What's happening with some of the positioning and decision making that's going on? And maybe they're just kind of scrambling at this point, being this pressured, because I just feel like the pressure in terms of the map and trying to get the resources and everything else is just kind of getting to them a little bit here.
Yeah, CFU Gaming is very, some would say emotional. I would say that they are momentum based, right? If they're feeling good and they have that push, that initial first blood, the whole team is riled up. That's when you see CFU Gaming coming up with some insane plays of their own. But right now, Ultra Legends have all of that momentum, grinding CFU Gaming down to a stop. And you can see that Throwboy is now starting to get a little disrespectful, right? The siege from Ultra Legends is just so much better in comparison to CFU. As long as Cornoc is able to at least hurt Sing, I don't think they have anybody else who can clear waves as effectively, right? Detective will need to commit and put his body on the line, which Ultra Legends will
come back down,
come back down. All along here from Ultra Legends, right from the draft. Overload the damage profile. They've done just that. They're gonna take this mid turret as Lord charges on. Already so low, has to flicker out. He's gonna go heal back up, but Boxy jumps in. Now the front of it all. Zing jumps in, pops the Wind of Nature. Doesn't fight Pharaoh, but he's gonna go ahead and take Quanok down. He's left alone. The team can't get to him as they deal with the Lord. And now CFU in trouble. Detective will go in for the last-ditch effort, but it's not enough. Still with a few members left. Can they end it here? But OP and Wadu and Boxy might be enough to keep CFU in this game. It was messy, it was scrappy, but they'll stay in it.
CFU Gaming, they have to start talking to each other. Something is going wrong here. Sing jumps into the middle of the fight. Does CFU Gaming hold one person at the Lord and then create a pathway to allow their boy Sing to actually walk away safely? Or they could
guessing, you know? Like, that's if you want the best way to win, just keep them on their toes.
Oh man.
No one else would do this, but I will.
And Ultra Legends, it's a 6.2K, but at least they defended against this Lord, which is what we were looking for in the first place. Now, CFU Gaming, at this point, the extra gold is only to start switching out items, but look at the damage taken, right? Dark Lord is basically unkillable in a lot of these scenarios. And sometimes Dark Lord is dealing enough damage to hurt Sing before the fight even starts.
Yeah, it's... I guess the way to make this work for CFU is continue to buy yourself time. Like, you know, you got some of the defensive items, at least for Sing, the Wind of Nature at least, and, you know, for the rest of the team to kind of catch up there, especially these objectives. I just don't think you see them in a world of contesting them, and it might be better for them to just go ahead and be in the base and try to make that happen. I would also say if it wasn't so, the way this game has gone, it's like, well, you could put Sing in a side lane and push it out, but I don't think that's the plan. I think they just want to go ahead and fight it out. It seems like that's been the decision, but I gotta agree with you here too, Gideon. I think they just need to make better decisions on the team fighting strategies that they go into these fights, as we see them actually come close to this Lord here.
Which is so weird because when we saw
Boxy? Boxy's gonna jump in anyway. Their Sing goes in. They pop the Wind of Nature from Pharah. Pharaoh's still alive though. They decide to go opposite directions, and Throwboy might just look to end the game. He's gonna jump for the kill anyway. Sing pops the Wind of Nature. It's him and Boxy, but Pharah comes in with a kill, and they'll just clean on up. They went for the Hail Mary play, but it's not gonna work anyway. Throwboy cleans it up. They'll go in, take the base, and Ultra Legends makes it happen. We're going to a Game 3.
Ultra Legends got so disrespectful at the very end. They knew they had checkmate at that point. They knew they had crushed the battle lines. They've dug out those trenches, walked through the minefield, and now they're going straight for that base. They could have ended the game at any time, but instead, they decided to dance on the corpses a little bit.
I gotta say, like, in that game, I had a lot of questions, but it's all the same questions. What are you doing?
What do you do?
What are you doing? Oh, dude, I gotta say, Zing on that Moskov played like a Thomas. he went 1v5. He won it all. And here's the thing, I like that my hot takes or my nugget of wisdom is looking good, because I think yesterday I was like, damage is kind of good. Damage is king. Yeah. And I didn't thought that it would have all 5 damage dealers, because I kind of feel like of all the roamers, I would put Hilda as a damage dealer. She kind of does a lot, you know, from her first kill all the way to her ult. And here's the thing, CFU Gaming, I kind of feel like you don't need to be an analyst to say they were not coordinated. Like, what was Zing doing? What was Detective doing? What is everyone doing?
I almost felt like it was all like, each of them was like, I got this. Like another time it's like, no, I got this.
No, trust me guys. Okay,
I feel twice, but hey, 3 times the charge.
Yeah, no, there were a lot of weird moments coming in from CFU Gaming, I have to admit, but I mean, some of the plus points coming in from Ultra Legends is that their composition, surprisingly enough, and I'm surprised I didn't even see it in the first place, they're really good at continuous diving, right?
Yeah.
They got on the Dragon bus. They're like, okay, we're gonna dive the mid lane first. They found that initial attack on towards OP thanks to Throwboy, and then immediately what do? Hey, let's go invade. Oh, you're off of your orange buff. Perfect. Let's dive tier 1 on top side too.
That's a good example of not just having a good draft, but understanding your win condition. Because imagine they got the same draft, but they don't fight. What if they tried to play the macro game, right? I like that no matter how quirky your draft is, as long as you play it as intended, hey, it's got to be looking pretty good.
Yeah, I like it, because we all called it in the draft before we even jumped into the game. It's like, yeah, you're going to put everything into damage, and you're going to look to get this snowball going, and Ultra Legends did that exactly. So props to them for making it work, because there was a very tiny window where I was even like, oh man, like, yeah, it's still a Lancelot. Like, he's still somehow doing crazy things with, what do you have? Just a War Axe, right?
Just a War Axe.
Like, just a War Axe. And it's like, yeah, if that gets too out of hand, then you're going to have trouble. But Ultra Legends does a really good job at starting strong and then continuing to put the pressure everywhere they need it to be. Also a sprinkle in of, you know, what's happening? What's going on?
What's going on?
Like, so that just ended up working really well for the lineup and the strategy for Ultra Legends.
I gotta say, I only see like 32 kills in ranked games. Yeah. We don't see this kind of score line that much. I don't know if this is like the highest kill count in MSC so far, but either way, that's pretty high. 32 kills.
Think about the difference between when we see, you know, some games that are like, you know, 6, like there's still some games that are like 4 to 6 minutes in. Maybe there's like 2, 3, 4 kills. I didn't expect this. Like, this was a battle right here for game 2.
I've got the meme already. Ultra Legends versus CFU scoreline on one side, on the top, on the bottom, RRQ versus Area 77. Like, it's just the lowest kill count game you will ever see. That is the scale to work with here. It is kind of ridiculous, right? You would imagine with the 32K lead, especially in a professional play, that this is the time where it's like, we're stopping you so hard, but the conversions, I have to admit, were a little weak, right? They didn't take enough economical damage. They are just preventing their opponents from getting further into the game, which allowed CFU, again, some pretty good base defenses of their own, but the numbers do not lie. Dark Lord, again, with Dark Lord and as well as Rice Cream kind of, you know, trading the aggro between turrets, it became ridiculous. Like, you are not safe underneath their turret. They just had too much health to cut through.
I gotta say, it does look like Ultra Legends is kind of like someone's asking, like, when do we fight? And the answer is, yeah. When do you fight? Yeah.
Just go, you know, and I feel like that's gonna, I don't know, I feel like maybe this is the best strategy for Ultra Legends, maybe moving forward. But then again, it's like, how often can that work? Look at this. Look at across the board the numbers here.
Dude, 22 most assists, 10,000 damage taken per minute, 48,000 damage dealt per minute, 926 gold per minute. Rich guy like almost 1,000.
You know what's really funny about this?
What's funny?
If Ultra Legends get eliminated, at least Throwboy will have some of the best jungle stats of the group stage ever. Because even when we're talking about some of the best junglers around the world, nobody has hit 926 so far within EWC's very own MSC.
And then comes to the question, why'd you use the Fredrin? Like, if this is what you guys got, why did he use an Akai before? Why?
I guess out of respect.
Respect.
That's why this one, it's all about disrespect. This is about desecrating graves.
So lose enough that your opponent is confident. And that's why you slap him.
Yeah, keep them on their toes.
Keep them on the toes. Let them not know what's going on, right? The
Don't
element
let them
of
know your
surprise.
next move. Yeah, because I mean, you see how they play. For the first time, we're seeing that Ultra Legends literally do not care what your game plan is anymore, right? You got to react to us because we will always make that very first move. And admittedly, you know, Ultra Legends definitely, you know, put their foot too hard on the gas and may have broken the floor sometimes, but generally with the lead that they have, it's almost impossible to make too many mistakes. Like when you're seeing Throwboy, every time he presses his ult, he's almost guaranteed to kill every time.
Gideon Naisu, I kind of feel like if we have a tier list, right, for heroes, I kind of feel like Moskov, he doesn't fit in the tier list. You just got to put a few faces there. It's like, only them.
Yeah. It's weird because
it's so hard to utilize.
We're so used to seeing Moskov be picked up so much, right? Yeah. But I feel like he's just in this weird position where it's like, especially when you play it like this, you're very aggressive. You know, you're going to put yourself in a bad positioning. And then really, I feel like the only thing we've really seen from Moskov so far through MSC is like amazing objective steals. Like that's the most memorable. And now, yes, some heroes, you know, a whole lot of heroes are not going to be able to do that. So maybe that's one of the factors. It's like, all right, let's just pick them up so we at least have this option, and we can put side lane pressure on that too. But yeah, Moskov just doesn't seem to be doing too well so far for MSC.
I can hold on our opinions for now about Moskov and everything because we have seen decent plays, not crazy plays, but I think the main issue here,
who?
Oh, from who?
Yeah.
Oh, Innocent, they did an okay job, you know?
Couple of faces.
Yeah, a couple of faces. Now, here's the question, boys. What if?
What if?
Game number 3?
Yeah.
10 damage dealers. Hear me out. He's like, hey, you know what? Damage is kind of good. What if we do that too?
Like early damage, or are we talking about like late game damage?
I'm talking about Kadita roam, Selena roam, that kind of thing.
The Eudoras, the...
Maybe that's stretching it, but you know what? Make the unique hero pool even bigger. But yeah, I kind of feel like in this pocket meta at least 3 damage dealers. I kind of feel like having 2 is too little.
I want to say yes so bad.
Then just say yes. Then just say yes.
You need sustainable heroes. Like, I'm not talking about like tank heroes. I'm talking about like those that can go in the fight. Oh no, I'm down to 1 HP. 5 seconds later, I'm back to full HP sort of scenarios. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
Just get Guardian helmets.
You know what? You're right.
He's
just
smart.
He's smart. Just pick a, you know,
it's like
pick a damage dealer and go Guardian helm.
Dude, it's like he's good at his job or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's almost like anti-heal got nerfed to the ground. Actually, it's just 10%, but oh my goodness, 10% is so huge.
So big, gigantic, humongous, some may say.
Yeah.
Some do say that, actually. But yeah, going into this game, because I kind of feel like Ultra Legends, finally, they're playing their style.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I kind of feel like this is the trouble with a lot of teams going into international, getting into their head, like, we got to play like the Philippines, we got to play like Indonesia, we got to play like SRG. Like, no, you just got to play what you know is good. Why use the Akai and Fredrin when your Hayabusa is one of the best that we've seen so far?
Probably because of scrims. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, true.
Scrims usually give you either a false negative or a false positive sometimes in terms of your read on what the quote-unquote pocket meta is supposed to be. But at least for Ultra Legends, now that they've been pushed into this corner, they're like, oh, whatever. We don't care about the scrim results at this point. Let's just fight.
We might get eliminated, so you know.
I was going to say, maybe part of this strategy and why they're playing their game is because, like, this is the game they had to play when they were playing in cars.
Yeah, yeah.
They had to, like, we only have so much time. We need to end this fast.
yeah. Maybe just don't take it too seriously. Like, the moment you get yourself into the moment, you're like, guys, this is just another game. Imagine us in a car, imagine us in a living room. And I kind of feel like talking to a lot of pro players, some people feel comfortable playing on stage.
Yeah.
Some people don't.
I think this is like the Coach Yeb philosophy of it all, right? The Yeb effect, some may even call it, why ONIC is kind of looking to try and get back into that form. Because again, it's all about good vibes, good times. It also translates into the game.
Yeah, I feel like they were having fun. You know, that game too, like, you could, I know maybe our viewers can hear it, but they were having fun.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. If you guys want to win games, you got to be vibing. You got to have good times. So pick your party wisely. Now, CFU, first pick, Ultra Legends is going to be the second pick here. Still banning out the Kalia, and now CFU is going to pick ban out that Matilda. Now I feel like maybe they're taking the first pick because the Farsa looks pretty good.
Farsa is looking kind of juicy this time around. I mean, both sides have played a really mean Farsa, so I wouldn't be too surprised if it becomes a priority pick, and CFU was like, nope.
Okay, so they could have taken it first, but then they banned it out. So what is, like, Arlet, Phoveus?
I think
Kimmy?
Ban out the Arlet.
I kind of feel like maybe ban out the Kimmy, because I kind of feel like the Jushin is a problem, but Kimmy is mad annoying.
Yeah, I think unless CFU decides to pick it up priority. I don't know, man. It's so hard to say, like, first picks for blue side because we've seen so many different ones, which I'm not going to complain because it's a nice position to be in where it's like we don't know right away which first pick is going to be. And I think these bans are very respective to what we've seen so far through the series. So CFU, they take out the Uranus. They don't want to deal with this anymore. I feel like it's also...
respectable ban.
It's basically at this point it's just a respect ban from them.
Yeah, maybe they just think Uranus is a little stinky, so they're like, ugh, gross, ugh, keep my hands clean all the time, right? And Ultra Legends, considering that they've already banned out the Kalia, they also get rid of the 1-1. Kimmy is now a pretty high priority. I think if Ultra Legends, if anything, let's keep this really, really scrappy, right? Ban out the Fredrin, maybe even ban out the Boxia on their side. I would say that banning out specifically the Fredrin might actually do them more good, but it looks like they want to get rid of the innate problem, which is the high damage in Kimmy. Now they can still open up the options, right? If you take Boxia, if CFU do take Boxia this time around, then Fredrin goes into the hands of Ultra Legends, and that kind of sucks. Yeah, because Yishin Shin is still available.
Yeah, now I wonder if they want the Phoveus or the Arlet or just wait. And pick something more prior. I mean, like, we saw Kyrie use the Amon to deal with the Yishin Shin, but I kind of feel like that's a Kyrie thing. I don't think everyone else can use the same way.
I was going to say, they even had that specific statistic for it that, you know, he did have 100% win rate on the Amon net, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we see other teams pick that up. They're going to go for the Jushin instead, plus the Arlot. So they'll have that final slash to work with again. And again, a big part of that, making that work, is just allowing yourselves to have a follow-up of damage that they can have, and I think the Jushin really helps that, because you can even beacon into it, and then, you know, of course you can throw everyone around here. So I think I don't know, man, I think Ultra Legends, do they still want to go to Moscow though?
Here's the thing. You know what I don't like about Arlet? Is that usually when we see the Arlet, it's going to be a utility jungler.
Yes.
That's the reason why I don't like the Arlet.
Yeah, I mean,
not now.
Not now. Interesting. I wasn't expecting Lancelot to kind of be part of this lineup, but I think that even for CFU side, they were like trying to make a hard prediction on it, right? Let's go for the Baxia, even though the Kimi is already out, even though the Kalea is already out as well. Their only option is Fredrin unless they know Lancelot. And now that we do see Lancelot, it kind of compromises CFU's comp, right? Because where does this Baxia want to do at this point? You've already shown them marksman, you can't even flex the Yishin at this point. Baxia has to go roam or must play in the EXP, most likely the roam.
So, I think, yeah, and this has been the case, I feel like, for the series so far, is having one of the heroes that you could flex, but again, that you're up against the Lancelot. What have we collectively decided that is the answer to the Lancelot? Just because you... Huh?
Mincetar.
Have we collectively decided that?
Cho. I probably should have started with the other two first, but I thought, yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad.
On the way other side of the, the line there.
Hey, you got to look at both sides, you know? You got to look at both sides. Keep it interesting here. And, I mean, when you're looking at Ultra Legends, I think they understand that I don't think that CFU is going to do it, right? With the Baxia lock-in, it makes it so safe for us.
I kind of feel like the other thing that CFU has to watch out for is the possibility of flexing this Arlet over to Rome, and then a possibility of Ultra Legends picking up something like a CC, because I kind of feel like CC is still pretty good for them. Ultra Legends, if they ban out the Phobias, I would say it kind of forces this Baxia to maybe go to the EXP. Yeah, so they ban out the Phobias, so they're trying to make sure that this Baxia is in Rome.
Yeah,
because other than that, it's like, what, Lapu Lapu?
Yeah, Lapu Lapu, which we saw earlier today as well. I think CFU... they go and ban another gold laner. So this might just force, a Moskov again over in the hands for Ultra Legends, unless we see something different. They're going to hold that for the last pick, though. So a glue comes through, though.
Why for R4? They could have held that a lot longer. I mean, CFU have a couple of options now, right? They can either be like, okay, we can go straight into CC, we can double down with like CC and a Farmist to like absolutely annihilate this glue. Is it going to be enough, considering that there's Arlet on the other side? That's the scary part, right? Because if they even consider or even think about playing that Farmist, you're almost guaranteeing that Arlet is going to get a final slash of 3 to 4 people.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the glue is mostly because they're thinking that CFU will not have enough damage, or forcing out that Faramis, etc., whatever other picks that they have in mind. They pick up the Eve as well as the Hilda. So again, it looks like, doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, every single team... There you go, we can hear them.
Yep.
You fight against the Lancelot with a Hilda, and now another new pick, another unique pick is that Melissa, which I guess can protect you from the Hilda as well as the Baxia. So maybe just want to make sure that you're okay with that. I mean, like, you're still vulnerable to other things like Yushin, Eve, and etc. But hey, you know what? Why question it? Because maybe this is the surprise.
This could be the surprise. And honestly, there is a little bit of logic behind the madness here. I'm just worried about the laning phase, right? Because if you make a mistake in the laning phase, especially when you're up against that Granger, you get zoned out from the wave, it's over for you.
So don't make a mistake, right? Simple as that. So now this is going to be the final game of this matchup. Winner survives, loser goes home. I'm going to give it over to you guys.
All right, Ultra Legends, this is their moment here. They could turn this all around, really subvert the expectations, and really crush the dreams of many Cambodian fans out there here at the Mid-Season Cup 2025. Riyadh is excited to see how this is going to play out as CFU on the blue side facing off against Ultra Legends now on the red side.
Oh man, coming down to this. Interesting too, because we didn't have the little split screen. You know, we're actually seeing a lot of the action that happens earlier on, and this has always been the case for a lot of the games so far through the group stages, is early first bloods. And again, with teams like this, for CFU Gaming and Ultra Legends, they like to be a little scrappy. They like to go for these early kills to get that build up first. Now they're going to fight for it. Again, quite low here for Detective and Boxy, but Throwboy won't overcommit just yet.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big fight for the mid lane, right? Both Oppi and as well as Konok are going to be consistently trading against each other. It's a little more favored for Oppi because the Void Blasts are good. Oh wait, hold on.
They're going to force a fight anyway. A Flicker Burn and another. Dark Lord actually survives. I really expected at least someone to die there.
Yeah, why did Boxy go for the Flicker straight away? I think he triggered the Concussive Blast a little early, which is why he wanted to get max value onto people. It's not a bad idea, but I think he should have just walked up and waited until the last second because he can guarantee flickers from his opponent.
Yeah, interesting use. No. Detective's going to jump in. He already knows his angle is there. Sing lining that up. Now Detective going to be in trouble, so goodbye as well. The 1-for-1 as both junglers go down.
Really nicely played by Detective there. He saw Throwboy use everything, right? He already used Puncture on nothing, the air, so he goes on to cooldown. He saw the Thorn Rose. He also saw the Phantom Execution, so he can guarantee that this Turtle Bolt is going to connect. Now, this laning phase, which I've been a little worried about so far, seeing slight advantage, of course, but not enough to guarantee the win. Pharaoh has been playing a strong laning phase.
Yeah, interesting too that we get to see this Melissa in action because I'm really wondering how it's going to work when these fights break out later on. But so far, you know, not too much in the gold lane. You see some rotating here happening for Zing. They're getting the call for this objective and they want to go ahead and secure it. So that might be mirrored down. We might see a whole-on team fight, but still, Boxy could be in trouble. Now level 4, they're going to go ahead and drop down the real-world manipulation as he falls. And they're going to go ahead and disengage anyway. A Mountain Shocker drops down. They'll pick up Dark Lord as he is gone. And they still force off Ultra Legends off the objective. And both gold laners just were like, you know what? We'll just go back to the gold lane. We'll go ahead and farm up as the face-off for this turtle breaks out.
Nah, they didn't want to deal with this at all. Now that the level 4s start to come through, Sing should have an advantage in lane, but Throwboy, he's in a lot of trouble. He can't deal with these frontline tanks, right? And that's how you want to utilize it. Wadu as well as Boxy are doing a very good job at not only maintaining their lanes, but applying pressure onto Throwboy. He is not allowed to walk around for free.
Okay, so again, an objective picked up. They're going to go in at Final Slash here. Already used the fight for the orange buff. Throwboy wants to secure it, but won't. It's just taken away. Boxy did his job. He was a distraction enough.
Oh, Boxy could have traded 1-for-1 against Throwboy had he just been a little patient with his ult, right? Throwboy, he played it well, which means that Boxy ended up using his ult against the buff. That's gonna hurt his soul a little bit. But hey, he can still recover from it. It's 2-2, and the 1.2k lead is still in the hands of CFU Gaming. They currently control the tempo because, again, the lanes, especially the side lanes, are handled very, very well as Konok and his Konok on top of Rice Cream is going to be getting closer to Throwboy. They need to help him out.
Again, Boxy jumping on in. Wadu trying to join the fight. Quanok's already gone. Fighting for the purple buff. Throwboy doesn't have much space to work with. He's in trouble. Final Slash going to be used just to take him out of that bush. But Ultra Legends, they're losing quite a bit early on here.
Where was Rice Cream in that fight? He needs to be around Throwboy. He needs to be around Konok. Those are the only two that he should care about. Dark Lord and as well as Pharaoh are holding out in the lane completely fine. They need to mirror the movements. The man-to-man defense must be shown from CFU Gaming. Because right now, CFU, Boxy, is able to kind of control the tempo just by his existence alone. They read into the scenario, maybe they could be on bottom side unless Ultra Legends are able to open up the map. The lack of information is costing them.
Yeah, so I guess when we think about Ultra Legends here, and you know they're not too far behind, but it's like as long as Pharaoh can go ahead and farm up, maybe this Melissa will play a big part in these later team fights. Because right now it just seems like it's back to what we saw in Game 1, where it's like kind of wondering like where is the synergy here, where's that communication from Ultra Legends, and I feel like they're just trying to make this lineup work right now and trying to secure Throwboy his buffs because it's been a struggle, and CFU Gaming has done a great job at putting pressure where they need to. As this next turtle is going to be up, they have control of it. Once again, a Mountain Shocker going to go ahead and knock down and find the members of Ultra Legends. They'll go anyway, but the turtle's going to be secured by Detective. They force him onto the tier 2 turret. Boxy will jump on in, gets out of dodge though, and still, as no one goes down, objective secured for CFU.
Hey yo, Boxy is still a pretty nasty hero. That's literally Boxia plus Hilda taking on 4 people at once. 4 people at once.
4 people at once right now. They're still going to be going for more. Rise Crimp, they get the flick around. Oh! Zing comes in with a cleanup, though. A great shot there with the Death Sonata. So good timing from CFU.
Hey, a God-given headshot right there. Zing not gonna miss it, right? He needs to be very proactive. Must understand where his battle lines are, because his tanks are shredding. Like, they're not even peeling. They're absolutely shredding Ultra Legends, and that chafed skin exposes the sweet meat underneath that Zing must take advantage of. I mean, at this point, now that he's eventually going to build up, I'm pretty sure he already has a Sky Piercer at this point, or should at least be completing the Sky Piercer. Those stacks are going to be very vital, because Ultra Legends, as the game goes by, Dark Lord is going to be an ever looming problem for them. And unfortunately for Grangers, they really struggle to deal with glues until they get a Malefic Roar, and that's still pretty far down the line.
It seems like they're working really well with this 4K lead, though. Final Slash going to find Opie. This might be a moment as Dark Lord picks up a kill. Now Pharaoh going to be in trouble. Zing joining the fight, but he's off on the angle. Pharaoh runs on back. They're going to force it anyway. They bring Wadu back, but Boxy is going to put pressure on the backside. Tries to go in between the turrets and will be spotted on out. So Opie's the only one that goes down. At least Ultra Legends able to find something.
Man, nicely played by Ultra Legends, and more importantly, really good on blocking the shots coming out from Zing. They cannot afford for him to get further into this game. He already has a 1.7k lead, being the majority shareholder in terms of the gold lead. Detective, he doesn't mind. He's currently 2 levels up onto Throwboy. In terms of denying resources, CFU Gaming are really good at transitioning and converging on these types of leads by taking away the smaller camps from the side of Ultra Legends, forcing Ultra Legends to kind of stick closer together. I mean, look at this, right? When they do, they saw the registry come out. That's going to be a free turtle for the side of CFU Gaming.
Yeah, so they'll be 3 for 3. Now putting pressure here in the mid lane. RWM already dropped by, and there's another body for Zing. He's able to find another. Mountain Shocker dropped down, and they're forced off of the turret as CFU gets double objectives here. Turtle as well, and then the turret now Throwboy should be able to get out. An off-camera kill too as Quanok falls. Now Throwboy gets back to base, but right now, man, CFU is just taking what they want.
They're taking everything from the Legends. Oh, no plus ultra this time round. CFU Gaming playing like sharks in the water, and they can smell the blood for sure. They're taking everything off of the map. No bit of gold is left wasted for the side of CFU Gaming, and these Cambodians, right? Detective already at level 12, Zing already at level 11. They need to just play around the RWM, because again, Ultra Legends, they don't have any answer to the RWM other than Pharaoh, and even then, Pharaoh doesn't have enough items.
Yeah, and if he's caught in it too, it's like, you know, you can still technically get damage even to go away. So trying to hold on what they can. Throwboy trying to clear out this lane so they don't lose too much of the turret here in the tier 2. They're desperately trying to hold on. But again, they can't really do much. Quanok gonna be in trouble. Opie gets taken down, so at least they find something again, but they have so much ground to cover here. You know, how many more times can they do that?
No, they should stop doing that, right? Why was OP using his RWM when literally none of his teammates are nearby? They know that they've cleared up the top side, therefore by process of elimination, I wonder if they're on the bottom side of the map.
Conceal's gonna be used. A Rice Crim, the next target. He's overloaded. Can't even use the final slash. And now Ultra Legends in a tight spot. Detective goes in, but he backs off. Boxy as well, I guess. It's just CFU being like, you know what? We won't get more.
I don't understand why Detective didn't traceless into that, right? He could have killed Throwboy. He definitely could have forced Pharaoh to use his ult, but even with the two crits from his range, he should have been able to kill Pharaoh in 2 hits, no problem. So, I don't know. Kind of weird there. A little bit weird, but either way, it's a safe play from Detective, right? If you're not chasing for these kills, you might end up giving away your lead. Because keep in mind, he is 3 levels ahead of Throwboy, and the Lord is coming up. So the safe option is now, might just be the final nail that CFU Gaming could ensure to get an inhibitor turret early on in the game.
Does Ultra Legends want to actually contest this despite being down so much here? 7,000 gold behind. You can see Throwboy's just going to be on that bottom side. Maybe puts pressure, but as soon as he's spotted, actually, you know what? CFU's just going to go for this anyway. They blitz the Lord. They see Throwboys down there. I'm not sure if they're able to force an interaction. A final slash will bring Wadu towards the turret, but they're going to be forced to fight anyway. They jump on in between everything, and they just fall apart. Double for Zing, and it's 4 down, and Throwboy just has to watch his team get dismantled by CFU Gaming. The shield's going to go ahead and pop as well, but they got even more. The Lord and the kills.
They can almost guarantee an inhibitor take. Look at this fight, right? This is what we want OP to do. Drop the RWM when your team is nearby. With the Traceless, Detective, and the Mountain Tracker, most importantly, he can guarantee positions, but the extra movement speed can allow him to sneak around into that back line. The anchors of Ultra Legends, if they get caught in the RWM, it's a guaranteed win for the side of CFU as they hit checkmate angle 10.3K.
This is going to be a tough one. Even though this is only that first Lord, they still have a couple Holy Defenses online. This will take so much work for Ultra Legends to go ahead and stay in this game, because it seems like CFU is just willing to go ahead and force these fights. I would be surprised if Ice Cream actually goes for a final slash and forces it. They should just hold on, clear these out, see if they can buy themselves some more time.
I'm waiting for the RWM, and here it comes.
There it is, concealed. There's the final slash. It's going to be on Wadu. RWM already dropped down. They force it in anyway. Dark Lord jumps in, separating from the fight here. As the Lord is still up, they're forced to go heal back up. Ultra Legends is still alive, but Dark Lord bought so much time. He'll flicker on towards the turret. As the Lord was cleared, Ultra Legends managed to stay true. No one falling. Quantic jumps on in. I think they'll follow through with this. They have to watch out for these shots coming out from Sing, though. But they stay in the game. They held on. They're looking for more. They find Boxy. At least one on the board now for Ultra Legends as they pick up a kill.
What are we doing here? CFU Gaming, I get that you got disrespected and you are not going to take that lying down, but you cannot be throwing away these freebies over to Ultra Legends out of pity. This is tournament lives on the line. If Ultra Legends are able to scale, then this game ain't going to be looking so easy despite the 11K gold lead. Luckily, it was just Boxy, right? And nobody else, because their entire crux of the composition from CFU Gaming is on the RWM. You RWM, make sure you hit the anchors, you rush on in, turtle boat in, whatever you need. You can even start off with the Mountain Shocker to guarantee information to make this combination work. So just chill.
Mountain Shocker going to be dropped down. Detective at half health. RWM forcing them to back off again. Zing goes in, picks up one with a Destinado. Are they going to be looking for more? Wadu inside the base. A conceal was used as well. They got the waves pushing in mid and top. And without Throwboy, can Ultra Legends stay in this? Again, Turn Lives up for grabs here. CFU ready to fight. They're going to force Rice Cream on the defensive. They're held back, but Zing goes in forward anyway as Quanok has to go back to heal up. They're going to clear out the minions. Quanok, there's the final slash from Rice Cream, but he's gone. And now CFU, the shark bite is too much to handle as Ultra Legends has to bow out of MSC.
And that's the momentum we were looking for. Once the sharks smell blood in the water. They're gonna be knocking you right out of the surface. Nicely played. By the Cambodian squad as they take this game 2-1.
Yeah, congratulations to CFU. They survived this onslaught. But yeah, like you guys said, unfortunately, this is it for Ultra Legends. And I gotta say, in that game still, a lot of questionable plays, but still, when Zing has a hero that he can just focuses on his own positioning and just staying back, definitely looks much different compared to something like a Moskov. In this game, CFU Gaming looks much more comfortable.
Oh yeah, so much more comfortable, right? You saw that flicker at the very end, you saw the way that he played the laning phase, and more importantly, I feel like it was kind of... I'm not sure whether the weird moves were because Zing was like, hey, give me something, give me some information. Yeah. Boxy, walk up, die for me if necessary. Opie, drop down the RWL, I will make it work, because it just feels that he has a certain aura around him when he has that comfort pick.
Yeah, it was pretty apparent. I feel like CFU, even with the lead that they had, there was still some, decision making where it's like, yeah, what's going on here? And I feel like Ultra Legends, if they would have somehow, some way, not to been so far behind with this kind of lineup, maybe they would have managed to stay in the game a little bit longer, but ultimately it was the same story for CFU where it's like, we have this kind of lead. Let's go ahead and take some of these risks. Let's make some of these fights happen and, you know, be a little proactive on the RWMs and everything else. And maybe this also was just one of those games where it's like, Zing's like, you know, I might have made some mistakes the previous game. Let me come into this game and have a redemption arc of my own. And I feel like he did just that in Game 3.
Yeah, here's the thing. I feel like there's a lot for us to talk about, but now we got to go over to the interview with Eterna.
Thank you so much, boys. That was such a roller coaster of a match. Congratulations, Boxy, for that win. How are we feeling at this current moment right now?
Good. Feeling good. So he said he's feeling really good because this is one more step getting closer to the playoff.
Oh, that was a very long translation there. Something fishy is going on. But I heard that there was a little fun fact that was going on, that apparently the more that Detective, Wadu, and OP eat, you guys perform a lot better. So what did you guys eat for breakfast earlier on?
ចឹងគាត់សួរថាដោយសារតែ OP មួយ Detective ញ៉ាំអីគេព្រឹកហ្នឹងបានគាត់ធ្វើបានល្អជាងហ្នឹងធ្វើបានល្អជាងមុនអញ្ចឹងព្រឹកមិញគាត់ញ៉ាំអីគេគាត់ញ៉ាំបាយ Oh, he said they eat rice.
Oh, they ate rice. With what? What did you eat rice with?
ញ៉ាំបាយមួយគេញ៉ាំមួយប្រហុកឆ្ងាញ់ He said that they eat something good.
Oh, they ate something good with rice. Okay, keeping it secret. Okay, some secret recipe there going on. Boxy, you've been, you know, you're a veteran. You're so shy. Is this, why?
He said, no, he doesn't.
Oh, he's not shy. Okay. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Here, so next up, you guys are going to be facing SRG. What do you think about their performance so far? Because everyone feels like SRG's performance has been a little bit shaky.
ចឹងគាត់សួរថាចេះយល់យ៉ាងណាដែរចំពោះ performance របស់ SRG ដែលសារតែប្រកួតក្រោយគឺយើងនឹងជួប SRG ហើយ SRG ឥឡូវហ្នឹងគឺមានអារម្មណ៍ថាគាត់លេងអត់សូវល្អដូចកាលមុនណាយ៉ាគាត់ឡៃលេងអត់សូវដូចកាលមុនអញ្ចឹងតែពេលគាត់អាចនឹងពេលចាញ់គាត់ហើយគាត់នឹងអាចនឹងខំប្រឹងបន្ថែមអញ្ចឹងវាពួកយើងខំប្រឹងដូចគ្នាបង So he said that SRG does look a bit shaky, but after the loss, I think he think that SRG will learn the lesson, and also we also would like to strengthen the strength as well.
Okay. Because flashbacks to MSC 2024, see you soon, lost to SRG. You were in that lineup. And then the next time that your region met up with SRG was back at M6, and it was under CFU, but you weren't there, but they also lost. So what's your confidence level up against SRG?
អញ្ចឹងគាត់សួរថាកាលមុនពេលដែល CFU Gaming ចាញ់ SRG នៅ M6 អត់បានលេងទេអញ្ចឹងលើកនេះបានលេងជាមួយនឹង CFU Gaming តើទំនុកចិត្តមានប៉ុណ្ណាដែរពេលមុនជួប SRG ទំនុកចិត្ត100%បងលើកមុនគាត់សំណាងបង So that he said that this time it's 100% confidence, and last time they were just lucky.
Oh, they were lucky as in SRG were lucky.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, banking on that. Very spicy. So with that being said, what is your message for SRG? Because it will be in another elimination match.
Okay, អញ្ចឹងមានអីផ្ដាំផ្ញើទៅ SRG ដោយសារតែប្រកួតក្រោយគឺបើសិនជាឈ្នះឡើងទៅ playoff ចាញ់គឺយើងធ្លាក់ good luck. So only good luck to SRG.
Just good luck, nothing else? Come on, Boxy, give us something. You said it was just luck earlier on, nothing else?
Good luck in airport. Oh, good luck in airport.
Okay. I'll get you next time, Boxy. I'll get you next time. But once again, congratulations for moving forward here at the MSC group stages. Hopefully we'll get to see you in the knockouts as we're going to throw it over back to our casters.
You know what? Shout out to Eterna. Right? I kind of feel like she handled that very well. Because, hey, Boxy ain't shy.
He ain't shy.
He ain't shy.
And he ate.
He ate.
He ate. What did he eat?
He ate like rice and etc.
And something good.
Yeah.
I can only assume it's camel. I don't know. What else? I'm pretty sure they're not eating sand. So it's the only possible meat that I can think of that is special.
I mean, for me, I just ate omelets, yogurt, fruits.
Did you have it with rice?
Did you have rice?
Yes, I did.
Are you shy? All right.
Great words.
I don't know, man. Cameras. Cameras make me nervous, but now speaking of nervousness, let's look at the match MVP for this one to see who really deserves it. Boxy got into it, but it's Zing. Notably on that Granger.
Redemption.
Redemption. No deaths.
No deaths. Hey, he's coming out with some pretty high GPMs at least, right?
Hey, is that the highest?
That's the highest GPM we've seen. 1,011.
Oh my goodness.
He was locked in.
Holy shield.
He's just like, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for the
Why
past
don't we
couple
ask
of games.
him what he ate?
Rice.
Probably.
Probably split it in half with Hopi or something. I don't know. That's probably why it only happened like in the latter half of the game. It's like finally it digested.
Or just be like, I legit don't know what this is, but damn, it's good, right? And then for you guys at home, again, there's a lot of teams left here. Some teams are going to get eliminated, but hey, make sure you guys grab that support chest. It's only 20 diamonds, and it is a way for you guys to show support to your teams, and more importantly, for you guys to get some goodies for yourself. Make sure you guys support us as much as you can, and after this, it is going to be another elimination match. Now, we're going to see if today is just going to be full of 2-1s. We're going for a short break, but after this, it is going to be the final series of the day.
There's nothing going on, no game plan, no plans. So I'm jumping out the fire, back into the frying pan. I'm trying to disconnect from the stats and the spray tan.
games here at MSC are clearly value for money because we've been having 2-1s the entire day. We gotta see if Corinthians going up against Virtus Pro will have the same story. Welcome back to MSC here at the Esports World Cup. My name is Phil. Alongside with me is Gideon as well as Naisu. And I gotta say, throughout MSC, not just today, we've been having a lot of games.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of games, but it's a lot of fun as well because we're seeing the length and breadth of a lot of these teams. At least they get to show a bit of their personality, you know, especially since it is an elimination match.
Can't wait to see the personality here with our two teams today. Hopefully we get to just have a full day of 3 games.
Hey, you know what? High chance it could happen. Now for you guys at home, make sure that you guys actually grab that MSC pass because again, it's 20% off. And this is your chance to actually get some skins that you guys missed out on, like the Atlas as well as the Jawhead skin. So make sure you guys grab it very, very quickly because it will expire soon. So make sure you guys grab that. And now going back to this matchup, Virtus Pro, amazing performance going up against SRG before, where even for me, I was like, yo, what's going on? They won the wild cards, and dude, different beasts. During wild cards, they're like, okay, a bit messy here and there, but here, looking much more composed, looking much more clean.
I think they've been getting some pretty quality scrims overall, right? Because that's the only thing that we can really say. Because from wildcards, they definitely had some clear weaknesses coming into the tournament overall. Yes, they are a cut above from everybody else during the wildcards, but coming into the group stages, especially with their performance against SRG, that's the only thing that we can pinpoint on to why they've improved in such a short period of time.
Yeah, we're just going to dive in a little bit more on Virtus Pro here. Like, I kind of feel like looking at the players, looking at the lineup, I really feel like they have a very good grasp of the meta, and they've been practicing a lot ever since wildcards.
Yeah, they do. I feel like still, even when we look at that, and I know when we were watching them through wildcards and then eventually through their first days here, it was like they showed some impressive things, but maybe at the same time, again, they only had a very short time, I think, boot camping in the Philippines before they ended up going and competing here in Riyadh. And the thing is like, there's clear signs where it's like, they're looking for that perfect synergy to find that communication, find that strategy that works for them. And sometimes it's like, certain players are going for those plays, and it's like, man, well, maybe that should have not happened that way. And I'm wondering again, because a lot can change for teams once they get their initial games here during the group stages. They're able to adjust, they're able to approach a game differently, and learn a lot from, again, certain opponents that they play against.
I think the matter of the fact is, does Virtus Pro have that level of polish, which is something that they were missing against SRG, which is why they inevitably failed, right? Because Endoru, he's doing great work in the jungle, but sometimes I think that he's reaching too far, and now it's starting to compromise the rest of the teammates of Virtus Pro who back him up no matter what, almost blindly to a degree.
When you're talking about polish, now I want to talk about Corinthians because there's a lot that needs polishing, because looking at their games, especially if you deep dive into it, there's too many solo plays, like not just targeting one person, but I even remember Hesu going up on the CC, using the current call onto one person just before the turtle spawns. Kind of feel like would have been better utilized during the turtle fight, maybe, you know, making sure that 2 people are hit by the current call and then disrupt them into that fight. So I kind of feel like for Corinthians, I think they have a good understanding of macro and micro. It's just that they got to play as a team.
Well, I feel like they have a template idea of how the game usually goes, right? And I think they've gotten away with so much in their own region that it's kind of blinding the fact that we're at the internationals. These small utilizations of their resources will be punished, especially if you don't have them during pivotal moments.
Yeah, and I think when we look at this too, again, like, you know, specific players here have more experience than others, and of course, you know, we have our imports as well, and there was some comparisons with Endoru and Flick, of course, and their decisions on how they've approached their journey up to this point. And I think it's the same thing, even for Corinthians. It's like, even with all that experience, just like we mentioned for a lot of the teams here, it really comes down to just not getting stuck in tunnel visioning of, like, it seems like there's some cases where some of these positions or players, they're so stuck on making things happen individually that, again, it comes down to making those plays as a team. And this honestly could be another scrappy game between the two.
Honestly, it definitely could be. We're going to deep dive on more analysis on this game, but we also want to say thank you to you guys, because this has been a decade of success where we are being nominated for 3 different things in the Esports Awards. So make sure you guys go to esportsawards.com/vote, where we are nominated for game of the decade.
No way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes way.
And M5 World Championship as the live event of the decade.
That's crazy.
Thank you very much. And finally as well, Moonton as publisher of the decade.
Who could have seen that coming?
Us! But yeah, thank you very much to all of you guys because, hey, a decade is a long time.
It's a long time.
It is a long time.
It's older than a few people.
For sure. For sure, yeah. I mean, I hope they get into
Namely
Mobile
9
Legends.
years old and below.
Yeah, anybody? 9 years old and 11 months to be really particular. Oh boy. Now we're getting into the draft here, and I do want to see how Corinthians want to kind of shake things up, right? Because I think that was like a real. It was a pretty big pain point for me watching them get away with how much they did in the draft and still honestly making it as scrappy as they did. This time around, we're going to have VP at least on the blue side up against the Corinthians on the red.
Yeah, not Corinthians really becomes the question, what do they want to let go here? And I think this is good for the meta when we really don't know what is going to be first pick, but it does look like for both teams, they're taking their time, maybe rice and etc.
And
What else? I'm pretty sure they're not eating sand.
I mean, I just ate.
all right.
Hard, but the conversions, I have to admit, were a little weak, right? They didn't take enough economical damage. They face defenses of their own, but the numbers do not lie. Dark Lord, again, with Dark Lord and as well as Rice Cream kind of trading the aggro between turrets, it became ridiculous. Like, you are not safe underneath their turret. They just had too much health to cut through.
I gotta say, it does look like Ultra Legends is kind of like someone's asking, like, when do we fight? And the answer is, uh-huh. yeah.
Where we are right now with the current shaping of the meta, it's still continuously forming. The Kimmy is banned out too, so depending on what Corinthians decide to ban out, you have so many options left open. Also, we've seen teams really go for that R-lot. Like, I'm wondering, again, if maybe it's Corinthians that wants to actually utilize that, pick it up, play a little more aggressively if they want, but even so, like the Farsa, for example, which we've seen just do really well so far in a lot of the matches today alone, can be something that teams consider here. So this last ban is actually going to leave a lot of things open regardless of what it is. So they take out the R-lot, so there's going to be no contention there. I'm just thinking VP. Do they just go for the Phoveus? Do they just take the Farsa? Those are two really good options.
Just want to throw it out there as well. Not sure if it's going to be first pick, but Kalia is open as well.
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to be something that both teams have to consider when they're picking up their junglers. And looks like they're picking up the Kalia.
Yeah, no surprises here. VP definitely, I think it's an extremely strong start, but I think right now the Corinthians are kind of forced in a position where they have to take the Farsa, right? It's just one of the easiest combinations that you can do. Feathered air, Tsunami Slam, Feathered Airstrike. It's just so good, so good. But what do they pair it up with, right? I think that's the real question. Do they want to get the Frederick? Because right now, based on what we're seeing in the bans, right, without the Kimmy, without having to worry about the CC2, if Lancelot shows up, then you can pick up Phoveus as the counter pick, unless Blue Side decides to pick both of them at the same time.
Good things, too. I think if it's taken here in the first phase, there it is. The Lancelot and the Jushin are picked up.
Interesting.
Maybe you just... There's a good chance you see the Frederick picked up here. Yeah, Phoveus, maybe Phoveus Frederick?
I mean, I don't know. Phoveus Farsa seems pretty good because Kalia and Farsa are a good combination, like rice and good things.
Yeah.
That is a good combination.
It's funny because in Malaysia it's like rice and how do you say ketchup? Soy sauce? Yeah, like that's one of the combinations for Malaysia. But now, yep, the Phoveus does go through, but instead of the Farsa, they're going for the Granger.
Why is there the neglect of Farsa here, right?
Maybe they want a Selena.
I suppose, I mean, sure, yeah, but it just means that the Corinthians are going to take Purifies anyway. I see no reason not to actually go for it, but sure, why not? At least Super Igorka, he is very comfortable on the Granger, so I'm all for it for the time being. We'll see what the second half is going to be, but first, let's see whether the Corinthians want to kind of change things up, because I feel like it's very clear what they want to ban out in that second phase, and they're also, they also go for the counter pick to the Kalia with the Gatot. So now they've got Disengage. Can they find Appeal?
Yeah, I think either way, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, the first phase is so different from match to match. It's really nice to see here because now you're going to have VP going in, focusing on the gold lane, most likely, because the 1-1 was already taken out. You know, you picked up the Granger first, so you could actually you know, force in some of those picks in the golden lane a little bit more here if you really wanted to. But also, I would say just in general, there's still some quality pickups, and Corinthians are the ones to go ahead and take out the Farsa, because I really was expecting that to be picked up in the first phase as well. So mid lane, I'm thinking for VP, if you want to go ahead and close in on, I don't know if it is actually going to be a Selena, but it does give you
Kadita?
A Kadita is good for burst damage and could work really well with the Kalea too for just pick off potential. And again, that might be some of the plan here, is to really just have an answer for the Lancelot, because we have seen as crazy as Lancelot can be, you can put enough pressure on him that you kind of shut him down from doing too much, like in the early game.
Yeah, but the thing is, because VP already has the Kalea as well as the Phoveus, we're not going to be seeing any Hildas to really oppress the Lancelot. Now, the reason why I even bring up the Kadita, because I kind of feel like some teams, they're having this idea where, against something like a Lancelot, something like a Gato Kacha, you're more about how do I survive as a mid laner, because there's not a lot of mid laners that can, you know, survive. Like the one that I'm thinking of is something like a Kadita, something like a Valentina. And now I actually like the opening draft coming in from both, because it's very balanced. We see crowd control, we see frontline, we see damage, we see burst damage. So both are actually starting off very, very good. And now Corinthians betting out the Farsa.
Hello guys, hello. Kindly click the like button, guys. Hello. Mic check, hello. Mic check, hello.
Like a Harif maybe eventually can come out.
I suppose, but I think one of the few interesting picks that we saw from VP coming out for the wildcards was the Lunox, right? And I think that's something that they're holding in their back
Hello guys,
we'll see what the Corinthians decide on first. The Harith is going to get locked in. A decent amount of damage profile. Pretty diverse overall for the Corinthians. And now, here's where it's going to get interesting, right? Are they going to go for the Lunox? And if they do, are they going to pair it up with a Hayabusa? Because I think that's the only assassin right now that can truly punish both Harith alongside with the Zhu Xin, especially seeing how the meta is shaping up in the group stages.
That's a good question here, and they're going to have to answer a couple of things too, but also just, I think, you know, if your VP is able to hold on and then build into that, wow, okay, the magic resistance is going to really help them.
0% win rate, by the way.
Huh?
0% win rate.
0% win rate. The Fanny hasn't done too well, so this is this just confidence? I mean, I have seen a couple games where Andoriu's played it.
Yeah.
And there's a Selena, by the way, that you called earlier on.
Yep. Nuggets of wisdom.
Interesting. All right. So right now, VP, they've concluded their composition, but with the Fanny alongside with the Selena, on top of having the Kalea, it really punishes opponents for taking the Purify, right? You're going to get out of the initial CC, but if you get hit early by an arrow, then it gives opportunities for this Kalea to take advantage of you. If you're low, the cleanup squad is expected to be this Fanny, and they don't have much of an answer for it from the side of the Corinthians. This has been set up very nicely by Real Solo, and they go for the Eden at the very end, so a very standardized comp from the Corinthians.
Yep, some CC as well as a way to handle the Phoveus. Not gonna lie, another pick that I was thinking of that could actually work might actually be the Terizla, but we haven't seen any so far. But hey, Unique Heroes has to rack up here. Virtus Pro going up against Corinthians. Again, this is an elimination match. I think for both teams, they have very solid drafts. So it really is about execution, which I kind of feel like for Virtus Pro, definitely a little bit more difficult. Now I'm going to throw it over to Naisu as well as Gideon to cast the final series of the day.
Thanks, Lafell. All right, our final best of three to conclude things off for the day. Potentially 3 matches here if we're going. I mean, we want 3. We want to see it go all the way, especially from 2 squads who want to put their names on the line to brand themselves potentially the best team in the world. As we head on into the land of Dawn, once we're done with the series, only one team gets to move on. The other gets eliminated here. Live in Saudi Arabia, we go into a tech pause. Just real quick, just a short one. It gives us some time to actually talk about the comps a little bit.
Yeah, the comps, but also just to throw it out there too, in case you guys missed it, the team that wins this will be playing against ONIC. That's who they're gonna have to meet. So like, you know, you focus. I'm a firm believer in what a lot of the players have mentioned. You know, they're told, you know, just focus on one game at a time, one match at a time. But I'm sure they're also like, hey, darn it, we have ONIC ahead of us after this.
We won, but did we? Oh, I'm on. Okay, well, we're going in.
Hey, thanks, LaFell. Always love hearing your input on this. Let's jump right into it, right? Because now it's going to be the unleash. Whenever you see this Selena on your composition, if they're not throwing traps for your jungler, what are you utilizing these traps for? It's going to be a fast clear for Andoryu on the side of Virtus Pro playing on the blue side, and it's going to be Flick from the side of Corinthians playing on red. They're going to have opposing side starts, but with a quick clear coming in from the side of Andoryu, I'm curious to see where the first gank is going to happen. I would imagine it's the mid lane, but considering that Luis, smartly enough, deciding on, I'm not going to take the flicker, instead I want the extra sustain from the Revitalize to maybe protect my teammates from Andoryu.
Yeah, a whole lot of tenacities here too for Corinthians.
Oh my god.
You know, Luis he's got to be tanky enough to deal with this, and Revitalize is really going to help them too, but also, again, mid lane is still going to be seeing some action here, but that's the main thing. It's a Fanny in the hands of Andoryu. He has, you know, being a Filipino player himself, like Fannies usually are pretty impressive over there, but I think still the same to be said, like Flick, he's done pretty good things on his assassin jungler so far through his journey, but the main thing is what team is actually able to go ahead and stall out that scaling ability for both of these heroes. Now the big thing for the Fanny is, like, I feel like the shutdown is far more punishing for a Fanny, especially all the talk we've done about the Lancelot, how literally you can still be a threat with literally a War Axe.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Because a lot of it just boils down to whether or not you can actually hurt the Fanny by stealing away her purple buff. Right now, it's a little tough for the Corinthians in the early stages of the game. You would expect that, at least for Frost and Louise, once they hit level 4 and onwards, then it becomes an easier time. But this is on the assumption that they were on opposite sides of the map, right? This Harith, he doesn't mind. Oh, hold on.
Okay. Pluto already has to pop the flicker, so this is just control for the turtle. They'll get that. Knowing too that that purple buff was up, and Andoryu just went to go for that, so they're going to trade it. So it is a first turtle in the hands of Corinthians. Again, economically, it's not too much, you know, pretty much even still across the board. And each team, now that they get the level 4s available, they're going to put the gas to the pedal here. They're going to find the knockup on the Earth Shatter. They'll find Andoryu first blood already. Still going to be going for more. Looking for Bulbert. Bulbert so low. It's a double for Flick. Does he get it? No, he doesn't get the triple, but that's 3 kills. Still for more. Bad all by himself. Is he going to be able to get anybody? No, he doesn't. Corinthians gets a ton off of that.
Oh man, he should have punched Hesu instead. Oh wait, the cleanup?
Andoryu, he gets tossed in the air.
Oh no!
Pops the Primal Wrath. Andoryu, he's got to get out. That would have been terrible if he went down there.
That would have been awful, really. I wasn't expecting Hesu to get his ult back up that quickly, but it just came just in time. Hey, that's what happens, right? You shouldn't be pouring gas on your pedals if you want this car to burn down. And Virtus Pro, they're the composition that needs the snowball, right? So they have to be a little sharper on the execution.
Man, you just like, and you're the lineup that has to snowball. Like in this situation, when you go through a fight like that, you put yourself in even a worse position now, where, you know, you've got to find scraps where you can, and maybe that's where you plan to having a Selena, for example, and being able to do things with the Kaleo, which we usually see once that Tsunami Slam is available. So maybe it's going to be them just kind of finding these moments where they can, but Corinthians with a nice little lead. The fact, too, that Flick had a double kill off of that earlier on puts him in a great position against Andoryu right now. And expect them to just go ahead and even get this next objective unless VP is able to find something before that.
And right now you can see that the mid duo, right, they're not working together anymore. That both supports are opting to leave that lane. Super Igorka needs to make sure that he doesn't accidentally lose his flicker, because in this matchup, if Ubatizi is able to land his Zamen Force right on top of Super Igorka, oh no.
That's a nice Abyssal Arrow. It's going to be able to find Hesu. He still has the Primal Wrath. There's the Tsunami Slam, though. He's going to force the fight anyway, ignoring the turtle. They're separated from each other. Andoryu quite low, has to get out. The Flick will pick up Pluto and the turtle off of it again, as Hesu will also find one. And that's a couple kills in the hands of Corinthians, and the second turtle so they continue to win these fights.
This is not looking good at all for Virtus.Pro. This is really starting to hurt them. If they had a Pharsa instead of putting Bobber on the Selena, this would be a different case because at least they'll be able to apply the damage consistently. But now it's so volatile, right? The rotations, they keep on applying damage to Hesu, thinking that he is the weak link, but playing on this Edith is so safe, right? Especially in the early games. That Primal Wrath, they have to respect it.
Yeah, it's really, and then it's crazy because it's like you have that extra layer of, okay, I'm really low, let me pop the Primal Wrath. But then even with the Warcry emblem, it's like you do considerable damage too. So then you're like double checked if you're VP. So again, they're gonna have to really consider these fights that they take. Because even if the arrow lands, it's like you're still in a precarious situation where it's like, if we follow up on this, are we actually going to be able to convert a kill if it lands on anybody else? And when you think on it, who else is the arrows most likely going to land on? Hesu is eating those arrows and he's putting himself, or it's going to be Luis when he's there for those fights. So VP really has to play around those considerations.
Yeah, I think the worst part about this is that there's no way to get immediate profit, right? Everything has some form of setup, and more importantly, it's not instantaneous. Even if somebody gets hit by the arrow or somebody gets caught by the Tsunami Slam, there is moments in the animation where if you want the big profits, Bobber on Selena needs to kind of dash through them to get the full value of the damage. And Pluto, there is the timing of the Tsunami Slam for holding them over the air, all of which Luis can just use the AoG.
Okay, they're going to force a fight anyway. Pluto quite low. He'll actually go down from Hesu, picking up a kill again. And that's what I was saying, man, that you got to respect the damage that comes through. And they don't. They're forced off this. There's some cutting happening here on the bottom side. That's what Andoriu's forced to do. Third turtle's up. Flick's going to go ahead and join up, force him off of that turret. But now with the objective up, we're going to see Corinthians take the tier 1 up top and make their way for the turtle.
Flick, he's starting to get a little low on his mana here. He's got to be careful, right? Especially if a fight breaks out in a big fight, in a matter of fact. Despite having the purple buff, things could get a little dicey.
Hesu gonna go in again. It goes in with the onward Earth Shatter, forces him away from the fight. So Flick's gonna go for Phantom Execution, and the Thorn Arrows will find Pluto. 3 for 3 for the Turtles. Virtus.Pro can't find anything right now, Gideon. Hesu a little bit too late on that, but still, they're completely in control of this game.
Yeah, Corinthians are playing a stronger game. The composition allows them to kind of do whatever they want at this point. And especially with a 3.9k lead, right? Flick has been able to secure a majority of his team's overall kills. And you can tell that it's starting to develop into a compounding lead. And despite that, surprisingly, Hesu is the one who's coming up with a large chunk of the sharehold when it comes down to their gold lead in the first place. 1.6k against Badcourt, who really needs his first couple of items.
It's crazy because he's been everywhere. He's been in all these fights too. And, you know, again, you kind of forget about the Edith sometimes. When we get through the drafts, it's kind of like, man, a lot of teams don't like to pick it right now, but when it does, it usually performs pretty well. And so this has been a great start for Corinthians, especially with Hesu, you know, still sitting deathless. Hasn't gone down at all and is pumping out enough damage even with that gold lead that he has. So Andoriu's in that position where we see a lot of Fannies or just assassin junglers in general get to, where they're forced to push across the opposite side of the map, see what they can get, kind of play catch up, because if they don't, then they're just going to be drastically behind against the opposing jungler. So Andoriu's really just in that position. When you pick up a Fanny, you're almost thinking that, man, are we going to see all these crazy cables and kills convert? But in this case, no, because you don't want to fall too far behind, and you're already, as a team, quite behind.
Yeah, and I think the worst part about it is that Andoriu recognizes that his item build reflects it. He got a Fury Hammer, but he decided to complete the War Axe first. He's even... Ooh, he stole it.
Bulber. Bulber.
Flick's a little... Flick would probably be a little upset. He's like, okay, sure, no problem, but we can still go into the opposite side. Let's try and deny this Fanny that purple buff, because that's something that the Corinthians haven't done just yet, despite having a pretty outstanding lead 9 minutes into the game, right? They need to start pressing in and really start to wrap their hands around the neck of Virtus.Pro, because right now, Virtus.Pro, with the way that they're playing, they're looking closer to DFYG yesterday.
Yeah. And this could be a good position. Hesu's not going to land that one that he was looking for, so he's going to get punished. Tsunami Slam, but the AOG in the backside. You're going to force the fight into the jungle. And Andoriu cabling forward. They want to get space for this Lord take. They might have just done that as Corinthians. Stays together. They get the Lord. Does VP back off here? An arrow's going to land on Hesu, but Luis waiting patiently, pop the revitalize. They're going to punish it anyway. It's Babcock that goes down. They chose to fight, but they get punished.
What is happening? What is happening right now? Virtus.Pro, this is very uncharacteristic of them. Backcard decides to take that. Why? There's no backup. Oh,
Doryu's going to jump in, but does he have enough damage to even get anybody? He does go for Frost, but Frost is going to be fine. Backs off. That one hit on the turret is going to be there, and Doryu has to get back to base. And now they have to worry about this Lord pushing in. Yeah, I mean, what is going to happen here? What's going on for VP?
I don't know. I really don't know. Again, this composition is kind of weird for the side of Virtus.Pro. They needed to execute hard, but they keep on fighting during neutral objectives when they didn't have to, right? Second turtle, I mean, why? First turtle, I totally understand. Give that up. Look for a side lane advantage. But then second turtle, they fight. Then even third turtle, they fight, even though they were already down by 3,000 gold, and they engage on Hesu of all people. So, I don't know. It doesn't feel like they're playing within their own skin, and Corinthians are taking full advantage of that, right? The weaknesses, he should be fine, right? Yeah, he's totally okay. And Doryu can only do so much at this point. Unless he had a snowball lead, maybe this could have been a different case, but I think that the Corinthians are trying to keep it as tight as possible. Nobody walks out, nobody is by themselves, everybody is grouped together. Is there a punish here? No, no engagement.
I keep seeing VP, like, it seems like they want to just go for a pickoff, even though they're down like this. It's like they want to fight, but I just don't think they're in that window yet. They have to buy themselves plenty of time, and maybe that's what Doryu has to hope for. Eventually, too, Super Igorka will be items. You know, he'll have the items he needs. He'll be itemization, and because when we look at this, you know, he's still got some catching up to do. Yeah, he picked up his Sky Piercer earlier on. He's got the Malefic Roar and the Hunter Strike, but he's just not able to capitalize on these setups that are going on here. Now, if they can drag the game out and maybe even contest this next Lord that comes up and convert a kill or two, because they don't have any yet, then that would be the best case scenario for them. But right now, the way the Corinthians have been playing is they have everything under control. Aside from earlier where we saw Hesu like flicker in and he just kind of whiffed that a little bit, you know, he's obviously going to want to correct that. But still, even if that happens, it's like you have nice enough lead that you can almost, and you're an Edith, by the way, so it's like you can afford those kind of overextensions in a way.
Yeah, and Corinthians, I mean, really good itemization coming in from Flick's side, right? He realizes fairly quickly, I just need the raw burst damage more than anything else. Like, Bad Code is going to get in my face, same goes for Pluto, but the anti-heal is coming from another side of the map, and even if I do decide to, oh my god.
They got him! Hey, you can't escape that one, I guess.
Oh man, Hesu, he still has it, right? He's got the mechanics. That's why he's an absolute beast when he made his transition over to MPL Latam. He knows how to track down cables.
That was a great communication on to catch Doryu. You know, you don't see that too often, but that's also why the Edith works great here. So now, off of that, they're just going to get themselves this Lord, and they'll get ready for Corinthians to push towards the base of VP. And you're still finding it. I mean, we did mention the Fanny has struggled as it's picked up, sitting on that 0% win rate, and it's not looking good here in game one.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all. I think we're pretty close to a checkmate angle as Corinthians Esports has basically won every single interaction against Virtus.Pro. No ground. Oh, Hesu's getting kind of low, but never mind. He's got the immortality already. He's just that far ahead.
Yeah. So that won't be popped. He still has the prime wrath. He's playing on the line, though, basically, you know, even with an immortality. So they get the tier 2. Dominant Force dropped down, and Lord still making its way. So I think the main goal here for them, even with this lead, almost 10,000 gold, is just to take these tier 2s out and get ready to try to make a play into this. But surprisingly enough, VP will keep them out of the jungle.
I mean, we see that Opatizi is able to find the purple buff from Virtus.Pro. However, Doryu was able to sneak through everybody and actually go to the Corinthian side of the map to take his own, to take a purple buff of his own. So it's not like he's falling behind in any means necessary. It's just really difficult because he can't be the first person.
Oh, he gets unbreakable. Okay, he's fine that one. If Hesu was around, maybe not.
Maybe not. I'm pretty sure he's got the tough boots as well, but the gold lead is clear.
They want to fight. Tsunami Slam on Flick. Thorn Rose, he gets out with the execute. He actually gets a kill with it, but finally Doryu comes in to join the fight. Are they going to be looking for more? The beacon already dropped. They have to go back to base. Wilbur is there. They're going to drop down the rest of the team. They're going to go for it anyway, and Doryu's jumping in, cabling on through. Gets a couple members low here, and Abyssal Arrow will land. They decide to fight anyway. This is a great chance for them to turn it around. And Doru goes in, picks up one. Hesu falls. This is a ton of gold going in the hands of VP. And now Luis is next. Super Gorka picks up a double kill. What a fight for VP.
Beautifully played by Virtus.Pro. Definitely a very scary moment for Andoria because he was thinking, should I commit to get... Wait, hold on.
Oh,
does he want to... Oh! He finds it as well!
He just Beybladed all over.
He just let it rip. It all started with Flick dying, right? The first kill forced Virtus.Pro, ends up being Flick, and that is such a huge shutdown for Virtus.Pro, but they snowballed this out of control. The big problem is that Corinthians, unfortunately for them, oh my goodness, are they actually going to commit? No.
They want this turret so bad. They're staying here. Tsunami Slam on Flick. He'll defensively use that Phantom Execution, but man, talk about a turn around for Virtus.Pro. Off of all of that, they diminished the 10K gold lead that Corinthians had. They got a couple tier 2s and a base turret. That is what you do if you want to turn a game around.
Oh yeah, I mean the shutdowns, two mega shutdowns, one on Hesu, one on Flick, really kind of skews the favor into Virtus.Pro. But on top of that, as you mentioned, the econ turrets on the sides, all the outers are gone as well. So this big gold sweep, a 10K gold sweep for Virtus.Pro, worked out only because Corinthians decided we're gonna disengage. But we're still in a really tight space, so Andoryu got a ridiculous amount of free damage on the correct targets. Upatizi wasn't expecting him to re-engage in the fight. He was expecting Andoryu to actually recall and then come in through traditional paths.
It was a great, I mean, that fight alone was one of those moments where it's like, that is the communication we needed to see from Virtus.Pro.
Wherever the world is. Duty, honor. If you can predict the enemy's moves, you won't be defeated.
Understood.
Stay humble.
Hero resurrected! Request backup!
My reputation is built on my bravery. Stay loyal. Stay humble. True warrior never backs down from a fight. My reputation is built on my bravery and loyalty.
Hero resurrected!
victory will be decisive.
Hey, finger slip bốc là vội hơn đầu guys, cái khẩm chia.
Duty, honor, and homeland.
A tight line of teeny now to play
A good army should be flexible, like water.
Initiate retreat.
Only by facing the enemy, one knows its true self.